This episode of the We Like Shooting Show is brought to you by Faxon Firearms, Manticore Arms, Polymer 80, the Sonoran Desert Institute, Bowers Group, and Browno.
Welcome to the We Like Shooting Show, episode 336. Tonight we're going to talk about mandatory AR upgrades, Woosh sights, Blackwater ammunition, bucket list items, Rainier Arms, and more. Our panel tonight is straight from the lost city of Ohio. Is Jeremy Pozderac from River's Edge Tactical. We got Savage 1R with us, Machine Gun Moses, Aaron Krieger in the house, NickLynch is by me. My name is Shawn Heron, and I want to welcome you all to the show. You know, I love when the show starts off with technical issues. Aaron, somehow I'm going to blame you. I don't know exactly how, but if you could give me some hints, that would be great. What'd you do?
I used the old Jewish eye, the stink eye.
Oh, yeah? What does that do?
It up the show, apparently.
Oh.
It stinks.
Yeah, I don't like it. Don't ever do it again. It's horrible.
Can't help it.
How are you? Why you're wearing a button-up shirt?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I decided to look good today.
Yeah, well, it didn't work.
It's a special occasion. Actually, it's my son's birthday today. He turned 13.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes Aaron just likes to look pretty, Shawn.
He became a man. So I was like, okay, now that you're a man, you get circumcised. And he's like, I think I already am. I'm like, yeah, well, we do it again because you're Jewish and, you hit 13. And he was so confused and scared. Then I laughed and said, no, just kidding.
That's good. That's good. Well, good for him. Happy birthday, T-Man.
There it is.
It stands for testosterone.
He got a Oculus Quest for his birthday.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. Hey, Aaron, I just turned 13.
Yeah. It was a gift from the entire clan. All the family members pitched in on it because they're pretty pricey.
Yeah. Got that Krieger money.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know how it is.
It's amazing.
How you like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been playing the Star Wars game on it. It's crazy.
What's your favorite escape from reality? The Star Wars?
No, there's this one. It's called Stop Something. And basically, if you move, it moves. But if you don't move at all, nothing happens.
Is it Super Hot?
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Super Hot's pretty awesome.
It is. Like, they shoot at you. And, like, as long as you don't move, the bullet wasn't moved. So you can, but if you move slowly, you can get out of the way.
Nice.
And you fight crystal guys. So whatever you throw at them or if you punch them, they just shatter.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I like that game.
I think they have VR porn on there, too.
Yeah, I can't do that on my kids one, though. Like, what if he walks in on me?
Just delete your history afterwards.
It's a VR, Aaron. If you're masturbating, you're doing it wrong.
Plus,
Dad, why are you always locking the doors?
Leave me alone. I'm shaving.
I told you not to
vacuum cleaner in
room. Jeremy, it's cool when you scream from like 10 feet away from your mic.
Yeah, I know. It was more for ambiance.
All right. That's good. Let's get into it. Before we get started, we'll talk about Manticore Arms. I did see that the Scorpion Evo Bullpup Kit is available on their website, manticorearms.com. Coupon code WLS10 saves you 10%.
Aaron, on top of that, did you see on their Instagram page today, Shawn, they showed the bullpup?
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but it's on their Instagram page. Did you say that?
No.
So if you wonder what it looks like, you can check it out there. It looks sweet.
Or any of the videos or social media that we've done on it. It is awesome. WLS10 saves you 10% off. And again, that's the Scorpion Evo Bullpup Kit. It is freaking cool. And I definitely recommend you go check it out. All right. It's time to introduce our guest tonight. He is the marketing director at Rainier Arms and TriggerCon. His name is Ari. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. Welcome to the show. I didn't give you like the full. I forgot to tell you, like, oh, hey, I'm going to do an ad read and then I'll introduce you. Tonight is going super awesome. Yeah, just
fine.
Get on in. You're fine. So
we're good.
You're out on the West Coast now, right?
Yeah. We're almost staying on the West Coast.
Very cool. We went to Washington last year and Seattle. That's an interesting place.
Very interesting. I try not to claim it anymore.
Yeah, man.
People ask me where you're from, like I'm in Auburn.
Yeah, exactly.
You be specific. It's funny because when I used to travel, the easiest way is to just tell people I'm from Seattle. Like, yeah, okay, I understand where that place is. But now it's more specific. I'm from Auburn. Okay, I don't agree with all that crazy stuff that's going on over there.
That's awesome, man. So working for Rainier Arms, like, how'd you get into guns? Was it something you kind of got into as a child, or?
As a kid, I mean, just early on, every all my brothers grew up, in military and, just uncles and just a lot of early influence, dad taking me to Charles Bronson movies and Rambo movies and just got into it as a kid. Became kind of a serious hobby when a fishing buddy took me out for my first IDPA event. And I got to really into, shooting, not just the collecting aspect of it. Up until that point, I had collected a bunch of guns, but didn't really, shoot them as much as I probably should. And went from that to like, man, how do I get paid to do this, right? So it was a long transition.
Nice.
Rob Banks.
Rob Banks. I mean, I guess, that has to do with guns most of the time, so that's good. You do competition shooting as well, right?
Yeah. I used to shoot a lot of IDPA, USPSA, 3-gun, steel plates. I mean, back at the time, it was like I was probably shooting 3 times a week. Steel plate league. Wednesdays, Saturdays shoot IDPA, Sundays shoot 3-gun or USPSA. So yeah, there was a time I was burning it up, but probably been out of it for a couple of years now. Keep threatening to come back, but what they don't tell you is the deeper you get into this industry, the less you actually shoot. So
it's so true. That's like the worst part of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. So did you grow up on the West Coast as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Just pretty much all my life out here in the Northwest. I mean, I lived in California for a few years with my dad. Did the whole mom and dad thing, and but most of my time was spent out here in Washington.
Very nice. Was it ever kind of frowned upon to be into guns out there as you were growing up?
If it was, I didn't know the people who did, because most of the people I grew up with and hung around. I mean, you got to remember, this is a little bit before the whole social media thing, and so it was just my direct community, right? Mm-hmm. Like my direct community, my family, when we get together, like our parties at my brother's property often revolved around firearms and food, right? So
what's it like to have never lived in freedom?
Ignorance is bliss, right?
Right. He's never experienced it yet, so don't let him in.
Not too bad. I mean, we're getting there. I mean, it's getting pretty nasty out here. I'm real worried for what my kids are going to have to go through. So, but yeah, I mean, I swear there wasn't a time when I was growing up. I didn't think it was that bad, but obviously I was pretty ignorant to all that. We'd go to my family's property or whatever and go shoot it up. And to me, it was just no big deal. Of course, obviously, as my awareness in my community started to evolve a little bit more, it was like, oh, okay, those guys are not into that, and that's fine. But, I just never knew much better. And of course, now I'm much more conscious of it. Obviously, the sharing of data and news and everything else just makes it that much worse, right? So
yeah, it is pretty crazy. So I know that, like, for me, there was this kind of paradigm shift. It was like the day that I went from having a gun, wanting a gun, and doing all that stuff to the day where I was like, you know what? What if guns were my whole life? Right. Like, when was that shift for you?
That was about 2009. My daughter was 1 year old, and I was a president for USPSA club, so I was pretty much like there opening up the matches and last person closing up the matches. And I didn't mind it. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed it. When I came home, I was either dry firing or reloading or talking about it online. And one of the things I did early on was, like, I would have this hack cam, and that's where a lot of people got to know me, because I would start publishing these shooting videos online. And I remember traveling to places like Texas and having people that knew me, and it was kind of a trip. And so it became not just shooting, it was reloading, it was talking about it, it was video creation. And so it literally was like I would go to work and I would be either building stages or, talking about it online. So I was just like, you know what can I really do to really get into this industry? I remember talking to my wife about it for almost 5 years, and finally she's just like, do what you got to do, right? So I threw an email out to, I was on a lot of forums, and one of the guys on the forum was like, hey, you should go talk to my guy, John, right? He has this thing called Rainier Arms out there. And so I threw him a message, and he was like, oh, I'm not really looking for anybody, but come have coffee with me. And, I went and had coffee with him, and, next thing you know, I had a job offer. So
Dang, that's pretty dang awesome. So did you start doing marketing for them, or did you start somewhere else?
When I started at Rainier Arms, there wasn't a marketing department. There wasn't a sales department. There was an everybody department. There was a, when you get in, this is what needs to get done department, right? So that's the real interesting thing about, my start at Rainier. I started, and first thing we'd do is probably pack boxes, and then I would answer emails, and then I would hop on the counter, and if a gun needed to get built, I would build a gun, and if a photo, new products came in, I would take the photos, get it up on the website. We just did everything. And back then there was no roles except a CEO. We had the CEO, John, and he would be, curled up upstairs in his little office. And everybody did everything. So, but it wasn't until about a year and a half later, I think we had like 10 or 12 employees. We started to grow a little bit. And, naturally it was something that I was very interested in, but we were sitting in on a meeting, which, later on that meeting with those 5 people ended up being kind of like the senior leadership for Rainier Arms. And he was really trying to find, these business lines. So he's looking for somebody that would head up the international department and someone to head up the marketing and sales. And I just remember saying, yeah, I'd love to try that out, obviously under his tutelage and stuff. So It was interesting learning the Rainier way under John, so that's kind of the stuff that you probably are not going to learn in schools, because there's a lot of things from a marketing perspective I think is applicable, but don't apply to, firearms, because we're so restricted. We got to be so targeted with our message. It's not like if I work for like Nike or Coca-Cola, where it's pretty much, I have all these channels and avenues to do so. But anyhow, it started off with like email marketing campaigns, and then it kind of ventured off into social media and how he did it, and so it coming in so early into that company and like learning and developing some of this stuff has been really interesting, versus I've always been used to like coming into companies like Microsoft. The position I held before that was at T-Mobile for a senior technical, analyst. Mm-hmm. And so a very developed role versus me coming into a company and helping pretty much develop not only that role, but that department and that image for the company ultimately.
When you first started, was that ever like, oh, this is going to grow and become huge? Or was it just kind of like, like this is pretty fun. I get to do a lot of different things, but who knows if it'll be around in 6 months?
Pretty much, He didn't think I was going to last 3 weeks. He was like, there's no way you're going to go from doing what you're doing to, working for me full time. Because I remember at the interview, he was like, I don't even have anybody in the payroll. I pay $15 an hour, So he goes, I don't have any crystal balls. I have no promises. But, for some reason, I like them. Like, I genuinely liked them. I trusted them. I could tell, like, I could take them at face value, and I just rolled it. And I was like, at worst case scenario, I'll hop on a tech, get my resume to a tech agent. And I'm sure I can get, I never struggled to get a job.
Yeah.
And I had 10 years under my belt as an IT program manager. So, we live in an area where that's bountiful and needed. So I wasn't stressing. So I said, all right, let's see what happens, and that was 10 years ago. So that was 2010.
Pretty crazy, man. So like no real marketing experience before that, just like all the marketing you had done for yourself, right?
Yeah, pretty much, just some of the basic understandings, but no formal marketing degree or anything. A lot of it was just, if anything, I had a project management kind of, background, but, I pretty much learned everything I needed to know, like on the job.
It's pretty awesome. The IT field, there's a lot of gun people that formerly did IT. I was a software engineer for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
You did that stuff. There's a lot of IT people. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, they are just, I don't know. They're curious individuals. They're guys who like to understand the whys, right? A lot of, it's funny you say that, because I mean, there's a very active group of Microsoft guys, that Microsoft has their own gun club. And so I remember they used to call and ask for like group deals for stuff, but they have their own gun club. And you're right. A lot of the people that we shot with at Falling Plate League, because it's over at Bellevue, was a lot of like, either developers or engineers in the IT field. And on top of that, it's expensive if you want to really get into it, so.
That's absolutely 100% true. I was thinking disposable income, but just really being in that kind of professional atmosphere, and a lot of tech guys are like problem solvers, and guns, there's a lot of problems that you have to solve, and it's just, I don't know, something drew me in for sure. So you said we're like reloading. You did a bunch of reloading because competition, you kind of almost have to, right?
You have to. Now, it's not to save money, so you could just reload and shoot more. I tell people this is not to save money, this is so I can shoot more. You know?
Exactly. Because you don't save any money. You're like, oh, I need better calipers or another press, or why don't I add robotics to my press? Things like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, my brother and I, when we first started getting into it, he got into it the same time as I did. We went in on a Dillon 550, but we would keep it at my house, right? Nice. And and we always reloaded the night before. I was like, all right, I need to make 700 rounds, 350 for him, 350 for me. You know, and we'd play that game, you know, right before the match. We'd reload our ammo. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of rounds that reloading machine has reloaded, but you know, it actually was three of us. It was me, my brother, and my cousin. We bought out my cousin. We're tired of making ammo for Derek. He could make his own. he got his own machine. And eventually my brother was like, oh, I got my own machine now too. So, you know, we all kind of ventured off. Now he's got like two 1050s, a 650 for every dedicated ammo, you know, because we don't like moving. Even though we bought machines with, you know, where we could swap out the plates and you know, he needed something for every single thing that he reloaded to. So
yeah. Crazy, man.
And now I really don't even need to reload. It's crazy
because you're not shooting enough.
we got that at work.
That's a good point, actually. What do you like about working for Rainier Arms?
I've been able to kind of carve my own lane there. Obviously working with a lot of different companies on, you know, business development stuff, like new products that are coming out. You know, just really enjoying the process. I mean, I tell people all the time, don't fall in love with the results, fall in love with the process, because it's going to keep you longer. And the process is great over there, meaning like, you know, my workflow and the people I get to work with, you know, things I get to do. You know, I just don't think I'd be able to do that anywhere else. So, I mean, I always looked at every single job I held as like, how can this help me build my resume? What are things that I could do for the company that I could also be doing to improve myself? And so, you know, there's been a lot of things that I've been able to check off working at Rainier. You know, building and establishing a trade show like SugarCon, building and establishing a brand like Rainier, some of the different marketing techniques we go to, launching box for companies, and the identity that we've all kind of put in to develop and what it's kind of become. It's just been really awesome. It's just, there's times I've questioned it, and then now I'm really glad that, you know, I just shut my mouth and just let the process work. And John obviously had a master plan for how he wanted this all to come together. You know, he's controlling like most facets of the market that most people that probably don't understand, but, you know, so we're kind of into a little bit of everything. We're kind of a hybrid of a company, because we're not just a distributorship. We're a marketing company where, you know, we work with magazines, we work with trade shows, we work with, you know, creating content and media. We have our own, podcast show. So, you know, we're kind of all over the place.
For sure. So let's talk a little bit about kind of the birth of TriggerCon. Like, you guys were just sitting around, you're like, you know what? We don't have enough to do. We should make a big trade show.
You know, it's going to be the day that I'm going to remember what it was, either genius or it's like, what the hell did you just do to yourself, Ari? Because that's exactly right. Because it's such a time consuming task. Like every year we have this like AARP meeting or AAR afterwards and AARP meeting. But we talk about like, should we even put the show on next year? It's such a pain in the ass. Like every year it feels like a wedding, you know, where it's just so much goes on, so much, you know, chaos occurs. But at the end we're like, oh, that's freaking awesome, right? Everyone enjoys it. Everybody, you know, had a great time. And then you got to ask yourself, like, are we on for next year? Because like that was freaking crazy. We barely made it out of that one. And so, you know, I don't know. It's definitely going to be, you know, us questioning it. But we sat around, and what was TriggerCon was formally our grand opening. And we had a grand opening event. We had a couple of exhibitors come out to the parking lot event. And we had some friends in the industry was like, hey, how come you never reached out to us? Or how come you didn't talk to us about coming out here? And so we're like, well, maybe we should do an annual. And then the following year, we had like, it went from 5 companies to like 60 companies. So we're like, hold up. We can't do this in our parking lot anymore. So we rented a little hall out in Tacoma, and we had some of the 60 companies come out there, and that's when we asked ourselves, like, what are we doing? Like, what is this really? Because we didn't make any money. I think we lost like $100,000 that year. And so after the financials, John was like, whoa, hold up. What was that? Right?
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to get some hot dogs and we were going to have some, some exhibitors come by and have a meet with our customers. What was that? Right. So we really wanted to kind of sit there and go, what is this show really? What are we trying to do with the show? And that's when we started to carve out our identity for the show and how we are different from SHOT Show. Because everyone was calling it like the little baby SHOT Show, which that's a humbling, so for someone to even compare us to that. But, we had 60 people come up to that show. So we identified the show as being different because, we had a very specific segment market that we're trying to capture and market to. Specifically the high-end tactical innovation market. Everyone goes to SHOT Show and something I hear from everyone now, it's like, it's so hard to find anybody because there's brands like Ford out there. There's freaking wine clubs out there. There's, Yeti Coolers has got a booth out there. I mean, just it's a great big outdoor show. Mm-hmm. And so companies like in our field are like, hey, how come we're not being heard anymore? Well, there's 50,000 companies out there, it's become harder and harder for people to get their voice heard, anymore. And then of course there's different genres of firearms at SHOT Show. You got everything from your clay shooters to your hunter types to, some competition and tactical companies along with just these legacy companies, like Winchester and such. So it's just, our show was able to kind of carve its own identity typically based on, what was kind of lacking at some of these other shows for our industry. So,
yeah, the logistics behind organizing that it seems pretty outrageous because we just went to our first TriggerCon last year and it was fun. And there's like a lot of moving pieces with that. Like how many people work on it now?
So right now it's the same, much more of all of our senior management are all engaged now. Mm-hmm. Everyone's kind of like got their own business line, but end to end, we're talking about 5 guys.
Wow.
5 Guys is great.
Yeah, that's my favorite burger place, actually.
Right. When we were there, we drove like 6 hours to go to one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we did. I will drive anywhere for 5 Guys burgers and fries.
Oh God.
So I want to know why your company's named after. Why is your company named after a beer?
It's actually named after a mountain. And funny thing is,
why did they name a mountain after a beer?
I know that's the wildest thing. I don't know. It's Rainier everything around here. But our first company name, I believe John told me, was actually Tactical Solutions. Until he realized, he goes, "Oh wait, there's another company called Tactical Solutions."
Yeah.
Actually. So he had to rename the company to Rainier Arms. He was like, I don't know. I think he had a dart. It had involved some letters and a magazine. I don't know.
I'm working on a letter right now to send to Tic Tacs about a candy idea I have.
Yeah.
It's called Tic Tac, but it's with a C, not a K. And it's going to be little pieces of candy that look like Tic Tacs, but are all just, super, super bright colors unlike their colors. I'm going to ask them where they get their plastic containers from so that I did that years ago. I wrote a letter to Mars Company for M&Ms, and I said I came up with this product called W&Ws, and it's white chocolate. And I was wondering where they got their plush dolls from because I really liked them. And they sent me a cease and desist letter. It was kind of fun.
I remember that.
So, what's one of the worst things that's happened at TriggerCon? Has anyone had an ND or anything crazy like that?
Not like that.
Or stuff stolen.
No. A couple years ago, like 2 years ago, we had an incident at our VIP party where somebody from a company had walked over to another person from another company, had said something pretty outlandish, and punched him in his gut so hard that the ambulance came.
Oh!
And people may or may not have heard variations of the story, but yeah, I mean, we're pretty outside of that. We're pretty mild. I mean, nothing really, really crazy has gone on, at least not to my understanding. I mean, the very next day, that was obviously big news, and that guy ceased working there.
Was it Geisley, if I remember correctly?
No,
I think I've heard like 4 versions of the story.
I've heard it from one of the guys involved.
Okay, yeah. He's a pretty notable dude from a bigger optics company.
Yep.
Yep.
Hearing him tell this story is so wonderful because he's so like animated.
Yeah, exactly. So this year is funny is people actually had like T-shirts and stuff made. It's like don't kick me in the bro. And I saw some patches made. It was pretty freaking hilarious. But outside of that, I mean, no indies. Knock on wood. Nothing stolen that I've known. Well, no, I take that back. I think B&T had an optic taken from their booth. It had a QD mount. So,
oh man, I mean, like you're going to see this stuff, especially for something that's open.
Yeah,
it is,
but it's true. Unfortunately,
yeah.
There are definitely a few that we just get through there, right? God. But I mean, for the most part, we had some pretty good people show up. Like the city of Bellevue. So it's something I've talked about a little bit, but it's the most difficult thing in the world to try to throw a show like this in our area. I must have received a million no's for all the different places, and finally, this place came back to us and was like, "Hey, I know, you've got to go through a safety panel with the city, to talk about your show." And so we went through this whole process. But after our first show, City of Bellevue was like, we had, people out there, some of our safety officers out there, and they commended us for the show. And they were like, we're very surprised at, the professionalism and the crowds. I don't know what they were expecting, right? Because when I say, I want to host a gun show in your city, so all sorts of craziness must have gone on in their minds of what they thought, we were going to look like and how that was going to all go down. They didn't realize, half the people that were attending were half the people that they were in lines with at grocery stores and people that are probably teaching their kids or, other upstanding individuals in the community. But I think it was a great eye opener for the city itself to kind of see, hey, maybe we have these guys, maybe they're not as dangerous as we think. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and shows like freaking, dentists, one of the biggest dentist shows happened at this event, and they're like, dude, you guys were so, I mean, we had more troubles without those shows than we had with yours. And, so we have, but we're still dealing with some other stuff, with a show. But, again, we're hosting a show to essentially behind enemy lines, right?
Now, yeah, like last year, you didn't get like reports of crazy drunk people going through the streets of Bellevue with shopping carts and throwing.
We
monsters.
did. There was a notable. There was some mention of that in Bellevue.
Really, that's weird.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
About somebody missing. I don't know. It was freaking crazy.
Traffic cones.
Hobo cans being tossed around.
All right. Well, we have information.
Allegedly,
we're willing to sell the information.
Allegedly, there was reportedly some video that leaked. I don't know.
Oh God, you saw that? That was not me. That was another fat dude.
And that's why we're not invited back.
So
it was Han Sharon.
If you could have like a celebrity show up to TriggerCon, who would it be?
You want to hear something funny? The celebrity that was going to show TriggerCon last year was Taryn. But anyways, if I had to have
That's
another
precious.
celebrity come
He just
in,
showed up to the edge of the precious and then walked away.
He just wanted to see the edge. That's all.
That was funny about that whole thing was John was like, well, it's kind of interesting. He goes, I was feeling a little bad that he didn't show up last year, but now, maybe it was kind of a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. Dodged a bullet like Keanu.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. That was really good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The only tough choice I had was, do I say Neo or do I say Keanu? Because I think I went the right direction.
Same.
I think you did too. We
Matrix 4 is coming out.
That's who you should get to come. You should get Keanu to come and bring his bikes.
That would be awkward, but yeah, that would be awesome.
No doubt. So then you were like, you know what? So we got TriggerCon. That's rolling. Why don't we start a podcast?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us about that.
Talk a little bit about that. No, I mean, I don't know. It's just us getting embedded in some of the different areas. We wanted to do more, discussions about like Second Amendment stuff, some of the things that we're doing, kind of behind the scenes that maybe, we don't talk a lot about or not enough about, specifically what was going on in Washington. And we figured we'll sprinkle in some things that we do in the industry, but it doesn't take much more time, and we wanted to kind of get more of our personalized voice. I think people don't really know the brand or some of the people that are behind the brand. As that's probably one of the most interesting things. So we just figured let's try this podcast thing.
Yeah. So like, how did the choice to do a podcast kind of come about? Do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we started to listen more and more to. Different types of podcasts. John, it was like, hey, let's try it. We were building out the studio, and we were just another wild brain idea. It's like, hey, we don't have enough to do.
Right, exactly. So now you've been doing the podcast for a bit. I think 9 episodes. Is that right?
Yeah. We're about 9 episodes in.
So now you guys are kind of doing it, getting your feet under you. I listened to Quarter Circle 10 that episode yesterday, I believe. And what do you think of the podcasting medium as far as just kind of hosting it and getting it all together and all that stuff?
Definitely a much more trickier thing, but it's hands down the most fun I do. I mean, because it's more of just like let your hair down, just talk how you're going to talk. And, it's less rigid, obviously, from video work and photo work and everything else. It's easier for me to just sit here and open my mouth than it is to just, click on buttons and stuff, right? So it's the more enjoyable part of my job, so. Yeah. I enjoy it. I look forward to it all the time.
Very cool. So you've got Shelly on there, who also works at Rainier, Benjamin, who does a ton of work for the Firearms Radio Network, and then you guys are just like talking to companies, doing all kinds of cool stuff. Do you think that podcasting gives Rainier, like, I don't know, just a different voice to kind of a different crowd than all the other media that you guys do?
That's exactly, you hit it right on the head. It's definitely a different type of medium, because obviously if all we did was communicate through Instagram, and everything else, we're not going to be able to kind of grow. And we're not going to be able to use – every medium has a way in which you have to use it, right? Mm-hmm. With YouTube, with Instagram, and even with podcasts. And with podcasts, it just allows us to kind of talk about some of the things, like I said, that we're involved in, that we don't have an opportunity to talk about. I'm not going to send an email out to my to our customers just to tell people, oh, hey, we donated this much money to Second Amendment Foundation or whatever. We just don't do that. But we will use our stage or whatever to help push, some of the stuff that's kind of going on locally, as well as just talk about some interesting stuff,
Yeah, I'm definitely digging it, man. You guys have something going on in Kansas? Is that what I saw somewhere?
Yeah.
What's that all about? If you can talk about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were obviously looking at the way the company is structured and how we can kind of save a little bit of money, or a little bit more money by, having a distribution center that will allow us to service, the entire country in a faster amount of time, with cheaper shipping services. So we were looking somewhere in the middle of the U.S. To set up our warehouse or our hub. And while we were out there, we ran into another piece of property, which was our Firearms Academy. And so, that kind of happened concurrently or simultaneously, when it wasn't really in the original plan. Originally, we just was trying to set up a warehouse. But, of course, the real estate agent was like, hey, we also have this other commercial piece. And John went to go take a look at it, and he was like, oh, that's pretty cool, too. He gave him a low ball offer, didn't think it was going to stick, right? And it didn't, they're like, oh, sorry, you got outbid. But 5 or 6 months later, they contact them and say, hey, those other guys' bids actually fell through for whatever reason, right? They weren't qualified. They were trying to, change the property to do something else. But it was originally a Firearms Academy called Thunderbird. Mm-hmm. And so, they went back to John and said, okay, give us more of a real offer. And he went up a little bit higher than what his original, low ball offer was, and they took it. So, here we are. We moved in and did a soft launch back in December, but we're actually going to have our grand opening event in March 28th. So if you're in the local area, come check it out. We have 25 different companies now that are coming out to our grand opening event. It's going to be kind of a parking lot deal, lots of sales, lots of deals. We got a couple rifles away. I got a couple pistols that a company gave me to give away. So we're going to have a good time. We'll have some food trucks out there and just it'll be kind of like the SureCon. I don't know.
So where's this Firearms Academy again?
It's going to be out in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wonder
if there'll be tacos.
Isn't it windy there?
Oh, it's absolutely windy. Yeah, dude. I was there a week and a half ago, right? Actually a pretty chill place. Like I didn't know what to expect. First time I've been out there in Kansas. You can get to pretty much everywhere you need to go in 15 minutes. And
like
with
the song, the band
zero
Kansas.
freaking traffic.
Where are they going to be there? Oh, that'd be so cool if you could get the band Kansas.
Okay,
to play
that would actually be pretty cool.
Kansas to open up for Kansas. That'd be badass.
For sure.
That would be awesome. No, I mean, so I just looked. It's a 7-hour drive for me. That's not terrible.
It's not horrible.
That's
How
like
about for me, Shawn? Look it up for me.
no, you look it up yourself.
My phone's broken.
No, it's not. I just saw you texting a little while ago.
Shut up.
It's just fine. No, that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, that distribution center. That's clearly economical, right? That's the whole Amazon.
It's supposed to be like paying for itself, which I understand it is, just from all the savings that we save from, shipping from that location versus everything coming out of Auburn, coming out of the Washington, servicing customers over in Florida and New York was kind of a pain in the ass. I think we were losing money every single time we used to sell to them. So now we're a little bit more on the positive side now. Obviously with the volume that we're doing, it's helping kind of pay for that location.
What's the biggest thing that you sell?
I mean, dude, we've got, the average, it's not that it's very big. It depends if the customer buys a bunch of things, but, like your rifle, for instance, right? That's, anywhere from a 20 to 25 pound package, and we sold quite a bit of rifles. There was a time where I think 3 or 4 years in a row, we sold more Daniel Defense rifles than anybody in the country. So,
wow. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. You guys probably get some free ones then, don't you?
A couple of them, yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty epic. Do you think that Washington's politics are going to get to a point where like you guys are kind of forced out of the state, or I don't know, where do you think that's going to go?
I don't know, man. There's a whole lot of bark. Right now, we're not seeing much of a bite. I mean, there are. I mean, let me take that back. There's definitely been some things that's changed in the last 2 or 3 years that is pushing that, envelope where we're making Californians go, damn, I'm glad I'm not from Washington.
Right.
But
everyone from Washington and California are like, God, glad we're not from Virginia.
Oh, yeah, right?
So true.
But I mean, that could happen to anybody, anywhere, at any time, right? We just have shown that, we used to joke a lot about just Californians and New Yorkers, right? But now we're starting to realize that, hey, we're just as vulnerable as everybody else. As far as them making enough changes to impact our business, I mean, obviously we're versatile enough where we could just pick up and say, hey, we're operating from Kansas, close up our shop there and work from home, whatever, or be forced to work in Kansas. But at the same time, we don't feel like just leaving just because it's starting to get tough. That's when we start to dig in a little bit. We've got a couple companies that are working with us. I think we're working with some of the right groups, and we're gonna do everything we can to fight like hell, right? Obviously, we're underfunded. The guys that are funding some of these, things that are going on in Washington. We're talking about I think it's 5 or 10 millionaire companies or families that are pretty much funding everything. Where they're paying for people to get on these buses. They're giving these people, instructions. They're organized. They're getting them to, the Capitol in front of our Second Amendment groups, where they're allowed to fill the halls and everything else. So, we're not going to just curl up and go away either, So we're doing everything we can to bring and raise awareness, help people get out there.
Right. It's like a game of Reversey or what is it, Othello? Where when states flip, everything in between starts to flip.
Right.
You got to be careful.
It was the most infuriating thing ever to see all those signature gatherers up in front of the Walmarts and the Safeways and stuff that were clearly lying about everything they were saying, and they had that food tax, the picture of the food tax next to their signing stuff, and it was just like, my God, these.
And of course, they're fooling all these people that are not going to be smart enough to dig into, ask the real questions, right? They think, I'm glad you brought that up. There's signs of people that are saying, hey, this is for lower grocery or, things that they feel what people would sign up for, right?
Yep.
And so they weren't really looking at what they were signing. So there's a lot of garbage that went on.
There was that. Then there was that they didn't have the full bill on the actual initiative paper, so that it's technically illegal in the state of Washington. You have to have a full and readable copy of the initiative there for people to sign so that they can see what they're signing, but they never did that. They never had the full one.
So I hope it does it. I pray to God it does it, but
pray to me.
It's going to be what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
I think Aaron tonight is like trying to, I don't know. It's like you looked up all the most obscure possible to interject. You're going to be talking
it out there. Yeah, my brain's working tonight. It's like overtime. Just remembering from like 1972 and stuff. I wasn't even born then. I'm like, oh, remember when that happened?
Yeah, you're going to like compare something to like the Treaty of Versailles next.
And then there was
more
this
like the
time
sword
when
of
the Danes and the
Damocles.
Saxons all got together. It was weird.
So ridiculous. When you do get to shoot these days, Ari, what's your favorite things to shoot?
Dude, honestly, like pressed or twos, just so percussion sometimes. Obviously, I still giggle when I get to shoot the MP5, but subguns, suppressed, or 22s, because that means I'm usually shooting with my kids or my wife, which I don't get to go out, take out too often. But when the kiddos are out, we'll bring the buck mark, and I'll throw a suppressor on there, red dot sights, and just throw everything in a big box so that they can just sit there and load ammo for themselves.
Yep,
and go crazy, right?
That's awesome, man. Are you shooting competition at all anymore? Or is that like gone to the wayside?
I mean, more or less, kind of like anything I sponsor, I'll come out and show up. Team events, but not nearly as much. And I don't know, even at this point in life right now, I don't know that I'd be able to get into it because I'm either all in or I'm all out, which means I'm going to have to reload my ammo again. I'm going to need to dry fire, 15 to 30 minutes every single night again. I just don't know if I'm built for that right now.
I feel your pain, man. I truly do.
Yeah.
What do you think's one of the biggest difficulties that you'll have today and kind of in the future marketing a gun company like Rainier Arms?
Honestly, like just trying to grow it and taking it to that next level. There's been so many great companies, come and go, but every social media is what it is. We're continuing to try to grow that channel, but and we're always trying to open up these different channels, whether it be podcast or YouTube or even Twitter. We've got a guy dedicated to just doing Twitter feed stuff. Just keeping at it and seeing and trying to dance around all these restrictions. Like I said, I wish I did work for a company like Nike or Coca-Cola, where it's like, man, it's fair game. I can utilize every single, technique and tool in marketing to be able to get in front of and engage my consumer group. But, it continually gets harder, but we're constantly evolving.
Oh, I thought you were going to say so we could hire slave labor.
That'd be great too.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, yeah, I kind of wish I could run things like Nike too.
Right?
Yeah.
We need more 9-year-olds.
That's good stuff. I know you have a deadline, but just remind people where they can find like Rainier Arms and your podcast and TriggerCon and kind of all that stuff. Like where's everything at?
Oh man, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram, www.rainierarms.com. Also check out our shooting academy. It's just rainierarmsfa.com. Also on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is just Rainier Arms. My Instagram handle is Rainier_Ari. You can follow that too, but we've got that. And on YouTube, we go under Rainier Media House.
Love it. Now, the toughest question I've asked you all night: are we invited back to TriggerCon this year?
Hell yeah, absolutely. We got more carts for you.
All right, good. Because
we got a couple things we'd love for you guys to come out to. We got this other thing called Media Fest this year. It's going to be kind of a closed group just for media guys.
All right, we're in.
Just make sure there's plenty of homeless.
I got you. You need needles too? Tent camps.
Exactly.
Dude, I saw when we were driving.
Say no more,
we saw a tent camp that actually was a restaurant. They had like a restaurant sign over the top. It was all made of like plywood and like tin roof. It was ridiculous.
He's trying.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty clever. He started a homeless restaurant. Like, why
I think they served Thai food. It was weird.
I don't know.
I just had this last night. That's crazy.
I was like, wait a minute. That's the same apple that I took a bite out of last night.
That'll be $7,
Yeah,
please.
you think that, but then it was something else, just like in Thailand.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm so confused right now, but kind of attracted.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I knew what was going on.
Yeah, as far as turned a hole's a hole.
There was no mistaking, sir.
Ari, that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
It's good stuff, and enjoying the podcast. And we'll definitely be back at TriggerCon. I just put it on the calendar today, in fact. So
Awesome.
gonna be a
We'll look forward
blast.
to seeing you guys.
yeah, we'll be there, and we'll be drunk, and we'll be pushing shopping carts full of cones.
Nice.
All right, brother. Sounds good, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All
You
right.
guys have a good one.
You too, man.
Dude. Bye, Ari. Aha! That was me.
You
I
got
said
the last one. You got the
No,
last one.
I did.
No. I said bye, Ari. And now if he dies, I'm the last guy from the show who talked to him.
Yeah, why would you say something like that? It's terrible.
Or if I die, I'm
Because
the
Aaron's
last
going
guy
to kill
thinking-
him.
Oh, Aaron's got a little thing going on.
That's my plan. It's my own little Deadpool.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's see. Before we do anything else. All right, so Polymer 80 is the next company that we are going to talk about. And, dude, how much do we love Alex?
Dude, Alex is like my spirit animal.
Right? He actually loves you.
Answer that?
Say again?
What'd you say,
Do
Jeremy?
you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Oh, a lot more if I got my slot.
It's so funny. I was just talking to him about it today, and he's like, do you want me to send him X? And I was like, actually, I'm pretty content just to listen to him complain all the time. And he's like, I'm not. So, yeah, we do. Excuse me. We do love Alex. Aaron,
Apparently, we do cancer.
it's just the last vestiges of that SHOT Show plague. Aaron, Alex loves you.
Dude, he's amazing. I actually really like Alex a lot.
I'm confused. I'm like, who loves Aaron? Like, people like Aaron. Some people just tolerate Aaron, but like, he loves you.
It's because like he and I are like we live mirrored lives. You know, he and I are basically doing the exact same thing in life, except he's doing it more successfully.
Are you opening bills?
Actually, it's a letter from my mom, and it's remember how I said we all pitched in on the thing?
Yeah, I think we just saw her checking account number and routing number, but
Yeah, it went too quick. I don't think you did.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry.
you don't know our listeners.
Oh, like enhance.
We got some 4chan hackers out there.
Yeah, you f***ing stretch wrong in your moob show, and suddenly it's a meme. Now I'm just like sitting like, hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
Right, you're wearing girdles and
just
shit
so my
now.
don't like flop down. Hey, you know what? Bullying is not okay.
You're walking around like Aaron.
Yeah, why do you walk like that?
How do I walk?
Like you got your chest all puffed out.
Hands
No,
on
dude,
hips.
that's actually how my chest is built.
Except it's not.
It really is.
Eh.
If I stand up straight, that's how it is.
This started off as an ad for Polymer 80, and it's going to finish that way.
You know, I love Alex so much that while you guys were just merely talking about how much you love Alex, I sent him a message to let him know that I love him.
Prove it. I want to see it right now.
Why you do that?
He actually did.
What did it say?
It said I love you.
Oh,
I meant
you
to
win.
send him that anyway, but
Yeah, that is good. No, anyway, Alex and the Daves, good peeps. Got to hang out with them a little bit at SHOT Show. Not as much as usual. Like normally we spend a good amount of time with them. Although I will say at the Brownells party, I did get to sit with Alex for quite a while, and that was fun. But yeah, Polymer 80.
Yeah, they keep coming out with awesome stuff, like in very short order too.
Yeah.
like, don't
Yeah.
they have like a Glock 43 and like analog?
No,
right now?
they don't. No, they have what is called the PF9SS. It's a single stack. I think it may fit 43 slides, but it's not a Glock analog at all. It's like their own thing. It's got a better grip. It's got better texture. It's like better all the way around.
Well, that's all their stuff though. It's all better than normal Glocks.
Yeah, I
it
actually.
really is. Actually,
I mean, they're not even like we should never even say their two names in the same sentence. Like just because they're
Alex
compatible.
and Poly 80?
No, that's fine.
Alex and
they're
Aaron?
compatible with certain things, but they're awesome. Like I actually only own one Glock, but I own like 17 Polymer 80s.
Same. Well,
I only own a Polymer 80.
Yeah.
And you're doing better. That means you're like 100% better than Glock owners.
Exactly.
Right
Exactly. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure that. Never mind.
go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Don't hold back.
All right. So they've
I
got.
was just going to say it's because Savage is one of the poors.
Oh, dude, my Polymer 80 costs way more than that other gun because it's like fully decked out. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, they make the buy, build, shoot kit, which is basically everything you need, all in a gun case, ships directly to your door. You finish the 80% frame, and you're good to go. It's got the barrel, the trigger, like everything. The parts, the slide, the sights. It is everything in one kit. And he said those are actually flying out the door, which I think
As
is
they
awesome.
should be.
Yeah, they're fucking cool.
They're pretty neat.
I like them.
They've got serialized guns.
I love cereal.
Me too.
Fruity Pebbles is the best cereal ever.
Fruity Pebbles is, man, you might be right.
I thought we were just talking about like grains.
I can't disagree with that, Aaron.
Okay, PBS.
What cereals like corn?
Yeah,
Or
we know.
wheat?
Nick's
I'm
like,
super cereals.
anyway, go check out Polymer 80. That's polymer80.com. Coupon code is WLS is life. And that saves you more money than anyone else's coupon codes out there.
Right. And going back to cereal.
Yeah.
Like the problem with when you buy a box, like because those boxes of Fruity Pebbles are not huge. They're like miniature size compared to all the other boxes of cereal next to it. It's only one bowl of cereal in that box. You know, you turn it, you pour it, and then you have milk, and then there's milk left, so you have to pour some more cereal in, but then there's too much cereal, so you add more milk, and it just keeps going until the whole box is gone.
Man, first world problems.
I got so mad the other day because I got cereal out of a vending machine. It's like a refrigerated vending machine with like a Lazy Susan inside, and they had a big sign on the side that was like "now with cereal" or something like that. And I was like, cool. That actually sounds kind of good. So I went over and in one of the things they had like the little box of cereal and a bowl and a spoon, and it was positioned in such a way. The sign said milk and cereal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, cool. And it was like $1. So I bought it and then realized that there was no milk. So I looked up higher in the vending machine and there was milk for like $2.50 for like the little carton.
What?
So I ate dry cereal. I was like,
I would too, man.
yeah.
Like you could buy it. Here's the problem. I always bothers me.
That's the
Why
cost
is
of like
gas-
a gallon of milk.
Why is gas cheaper per gallon than milk? When gas is not renewable and milk is.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I mean like
Milk's renewable.
No, is milk cheaper?
No, it's
Or,
not. That's what
more
I'm saying.
expensive?
Gas is like what, $2.30 a gallon? Milk's $2.49 right now currently.
Yeah. You're right. I think.
Yeah, I mean milk's renewable in the sense that cows will continue to produce milk while dinosaurs will not still continue to produce gas because we have a finite amount of dinosaurs.
But the dinosaurs keep longer and don't have to be refrigerated.
We just need fusion.
Yeah, I want.
Also,
Yeah, you're
also
talking about
dairy
hundreds
farms
of
are failing because of low wages and prices of milk. That is not happening with fossil fuels.
Yeah, you're talking about hundreds of millions of years worth of like biodegradable material that turns into oil, and then versus
we
cows.
should subsidize the milk industry or the dairy industry more heavily to save dairy farms.
Yes.
Negative.
I strongly
'Cause I need
believe in
milk in my
welfare.
cereal.
Don't at me.
Don't at me. Is that what you just said?
That's what I said.
Okay.
I wanted to use it once. I used it once. Just trying it on for size. I don't think it's going to work as a more than one time use thing. But,
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it. So anyway, polymer80.com, coupon code WLS is life. And you know what? It's time.
I thought we were done with that a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I told the cereal story because I thought we were done with the polymer 80 thing.
Oh yeah. I just got lost and I forgot.
You got lost in my cereal story.
Jesus, I smell it here.
Dude, it was bad.
Yeah, it really is bad. All right. I'm going to name a list of products.
The mic sounds great, Jeremy.
The Summit line. It really did, actually. The Summit line. The first line. The FX-19. The Patriot and the Hellfire. Patriot and Hellfire slides for M&Ps. Patriot and Hellfire slides for Glocks. The ARAC. the Bantam. Barrels for everything you could possibly imagine and more.
What are we doing here?
We're playing a game. What is Facts and Firearms?
Boom.
Oh, I was going to say Noxaf.
Oh, he said it backwards.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, Noxaf.
He did.
No, say it again.
Noxaf.
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 Edge.
Smart riff. Play that backwards.
You know, this is the best kind of cereal right here.
Yeah,
Merv?
it is, actually.
Cuff.
Lafrague cereal.
Cuff.
Anyway, yes, Aaron, you got it right. What is Facts and Firearms? Sorry.
There's a thing in there.
Oh, I didn't know.
There.
Oh, all right. So Aaron wins the prize. Those are all products that Facts and Firearms makes. They make bolt carrier groups. I just put together a 350 Legend with a bolt carrier group and also a barrel from Facts and Firearms. Jerambe, you've gotten in some of their rifles from their new lines, right?
They're all gone. I got to order more. Or I did order more.
Oh, so what'd you think of them?
They're pretty much going to be the economy rifles that I stock now.
Yeah. Are you doing both lines, or are you doing just the first line?
No, I sold what was it, the FX 5500. Now it's the Ion or whatever.
Ion Ultralight, yeah. You know what's crazy about that thing? Sub 5 pounds, $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
Facts and barrel, carbon fiber handguard, minimalist stock, facts and
I
upper
named
and lower.
that gun line, by the way.
No, you actually did not.
I did. I have emails to prove it.
Wait, which one?
The Ion.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the emails.
Okay. Here, see?
No, I would like
It's
to
on
see
my
the
phone,
emails.
see?
It's printed on that check. You should show us the check again.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, look at my phone. See? There it is.
That's a flashlight, Aaron.
Oh.
It's clearly a flashlight.
We just got flashed by Aaron.
But anyway, the rifles are baller. I sold one to a customer, and when I got it in, I was like, holy this is like awesome. And it was like
that thing is
and it was like sub $1,000 for a really, really good rifle. One that I kind of wish had been my first rifle. But anyway, factsandfirearms.com. Coupon code is going to be WLS. Where is it? I'm looking. WLS 10, and that's going to save you money on guns. I was talking to Pat recently. I was like, dude, we're not saving people enough money on full guns. You guys have all the lines now. You've got all the full guns. And he's like, you know what, Shawn? Tough. And I was like, Pat, no. And then I sprayed him with a spray bottle.
nice. Get off the couch, Pat.
Yeah. And then he put his pants back on. And he's like, you know what? 10% off guns. And that's WLS 10. That'll save you money on both guns, parts, whatever you need. It's all out there, factsandfirearms.com. Let's talk about some gear, guys. Aaron, I got to know what the hell your product is, because I've been confused all night and I want to hear about it.
Yeah, I found these today. I don't own these, but I saw them today and I was like, what? They're called Woosh sights.
Okay.
WOOSH.
All right.
And the concept behind it is you have obviously your three pillars for your sights, the two in the back and the one in the front.
What?
Blades.
The two in the back have like half circles on them. And the one in the front joins those half circles to make a full circle, so you know you've got everything lined up correctly.
Oh.
It's weird, isn't it? Interesting.
That's weird, but also interesting.
If your sights are on right. That's the thing. It's like, if your sights aren't on right and everything's off kilter a little bit, you may line everything up correctly, but you're still shooting off.
But that's true of any sight.
True, yeah. But, the full circle thing, you'd be like, I don't understand it. But yeah, it's an interesting concept. It's, you line up you make everything into full circles. So you have two full circles and everything's lined up correctly and you pull the trigger.
I mean, I'd be willing to try them. I
Shawn,
think,
can you bring them up on the screen so people can see?
I think there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there. And I'm not sure how much better a lot of it really is,
Yeah, so like right here, for the people who are watching. So the front blade is much wider, the back blades are much thinner, and when you line them up, it creates two circles, and it has a little line between the two. It
is, but it's a micro
with giant.
Oh, Aaron, wait a minute. Is this your company?
So it's all about blowing your on somebody.
It's like that episode of South Park where they all get cancer.
Right.
I don't know. I think that I don't like this, but I would like to shoot it to confirm.
Why wouldn't you like it? Just out of curiosity.
I feel like it might be a little bit busy. Like I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. I would definitely try it. How much are they? Can you even buy them? You can't even buy them.
They were at SHOT Show. You guys didn't see them?
No.
Look at those guys. Is he in a helicopter or a car?
It looks like a car.
Looks like, yeah.
What was
Okay, Boomer.
No, that looks like an actual plane.
Maybe.
what was the sight system that we looked at SHOT Show though? That was
The Triclops.
Triclops.
Yeah, we've actually he lives here in Colorado Springs. He's bringing some by for us.
Nice.
Yeah, so the 2018 is when these were introduced at SHOT Show.
Yeah, interesting. And they were there again this year.
Huh.
But
I don't know.
Were they?
Just like,
Notice the headline under the news: exclusive Florida man designs patents revolutionary pistol sight.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Written by Scott. Is Scott a Florida man?
I don't know.
Okay. From a training standpoint, like when you try to explain what sights should look like, some people don't grasp the concept even after little, puppets or whatever you want to call them, drawn pictures. Like, for some reason, it does not click in some people's heads. Also, sometimes with beginners, when they punch out, get their sights lined up, start aiming, and as soon as they start to pull the trigger, they completely forget about where their sights are. Yeah. They just stop looking at them. Something like this, I could see where you could be like, keep the circles.
Yeah,
make sure there's circles. Like, I could understand. I could see it from like that point, but like for most of us, like off. This is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could work this, and I think they're missing their marketing opportunity. They need to start referring to all bad guys as, and they'll be like, just put the between the.
Put it right on the head.
Yeah.
I think we just made them.
And they should change your name from Woosh Sights to Pork and Beans.
How do you get the beans above the frank?
It's twig and berries.
I don't know, man. It's a weird thing.
Shoot that bundle of sticks.
All right. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was there's things that we all kind of like do to our ARs, and there's things that kind of become like not signature necessarily, but just like whenever you get an AR, if it doesn't have these things, it's something that you upgrade or just something that you love, something that you put on all the stuff that you assembled. And I was just going to kind of see what you guys were. So, like, for me, it used to be like bad levers or the equivalent. Like, I used to love them, and then I realized I just never used them. So now for me, it is charging handles. This is something that for the longest time I just didn't care about. But the more I trained, the more I was like, man, a good charging handle is something that is worth spending the money on. Like our cameraman, Steve, just the other day, he was putting together something, and he's like, I'll just get a regular charging handle. And I was like, no. Of all the things in the universe not to skimp on, that's like one of them. So charging handles are a huge thing for me. Ambi safeties. Like I literally just ordered 4 or 5 Ambi safeties a couple of months ago to kind of start replacing them on all my ARs. Because again, being out there training, I was like, I need an ambi safety. I like it. I want to be able to do it.
You don't need it. Let me tell you, you don't need an ambi safety.
You don't need one, but I like them, and that's one of my mandatory upgrades that I do.
Following on your first one, you need a good charging handle, a wide charging handle.
I mean, you don't need it, but
no, you do. It's those little ones that they come with. They suck, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, you need a bigger one. Everybody needs a bigger charging handle.
I'm fine with the ambi charging handles. I don't know if it necessarily has to be a monster or huge, because having a slim profile on a rifle is kind of nice.
It's not about the size of the charging handle. It's how you use it.
I don't know. So I used to actually buy the cheap, like $14 charging handle and then buy a $7 extended charging latch and put those on.
Yeah, they break.
They do, and they're really, really hard to put in.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Dude, bull.
You're just an idiot.
No, you. I've done like 10 of them. How many have you done?
About 100.
No, you haven't.
I've done a lot, and I've never messed one up.
All day long.
What'd you say, Nick?
I've done a lot of them, and I've never messed one up.
I've never messed one up.
I've never had a hard time with one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I put in 2 binary triggers the other day.
Well, I guess.
Easy. lemon squeezy, dude. You're saying it's so hard. It was easy.
No, I didn't actually. Nick put the first one in. I had to disassemble it because it was broken and put a new spring in. But I had to disassemble the entire thing, which yours, they come all put together.
Right, yeah, it was fine.
All right, well, apparently extended charging handles are easy, and I'm fucking lame. But
yeah, pretty much.
But the extended charging handles is a must.
But the shitty little latches do break and kind of suck. So
I generally throw new muzzle devices on everything. Before I use the Manicore Night Brake, and generally now I always throw a Bowers Group Versadapt on there, just because I try to run suppressed as much as possible. Nick, what are your like mandatory upgrades?
I think I think you kind of covered a grip that fits my hand well. I do like an ambi safety and a decent charging handle. I would say are the biggest things.
Any other stuff?
Are we talking anything, or are we talking smaller things? Or,
no, anything.
A good trigger, definitely. A good shooter should be able to shoot just about any trigger really well, but that's not to say that a good trigger isn't easier to shoot, if that makes sense.
True. I agree. Good trigger. That's something that I put in every gun. And then I usually replace the stocks on just about everything. I really love the Mission First Tactical Minimalist. I don't know what it is, but...
Is there anything you don't replace, Shawn?
Dude, not really.
I like a new barrel. Barrels are good, important. Handguards, sights.
I've kind of really started to be into different bolt releases. Like the one that's on there is fine, but like ones that don't have just a little pointy spike at the bottom and have an actual plate. Kind of enjoying those. That might be something I kind of go to. Jeremy, what about you? You look angry.
I'm fine. What do you ask?
What are your mandatory upgrades for ARs?
Phase 5 bolt assist lever, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like a bad lever.
Like a bad lever, but the Phase 5 version.
Yep.
I do a what? Who said something?
Nobody.
No one.
You echoed it.
Literally f***ing nobody.
Literally no one.
Somebody said something. F*** you.
Okay, so
Okay,
the
then.
Phase 5 lever. What else?
A upgraded trigger, whatever that may end up being. Depends on whose or what, or I really like my Elfmans lately.
Yeah, definitely understand that.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any. I all my rifles are set up so differently.
Yeah, see, whereas me, like I set up most of my kind of like the same.
What the hell's the point of having many of them?
Calibers, different calibers, different purposes,
Calibers, different lengths.
different
Yeah,
lengths.
they're all different purposes, so they're all set up differently.
Well, if I have one that's set up to be just like a pretty much kind of do all everything, then I always go with the same stock and different barrels. And some are 16, some are 14.5 with
I still don't own a 16-inch rifle.
That's pretty much all I own. Savage, what about you? What are your like mandatory? Oh, go ahead.
I got a 22, a 20, an 18, a 14.5 inch, a 7.5 inch, and that they're all 5.56.
Mine, no. I have pretty much every barrel length from 7.5 up.
24.
No, 20 is actually my longest.
Wait,
Really?
what? How long's your Dez? Oh, it's a 308. Never mind.
That is a 24, but it's 308.
Yeah.
What I'll usually go with is an MB charging handle. That's usually the first thing that I get, and then I'll
Really?
usually, yeah.
Are you left-handed?
Yeah, well, I shoot right-handed, but I am left-handed. I shoot rifle right-handed, but I am left-handed. But I like having the ambi charging handle just because it makes it easier to grasp. Then I'll either go with a lightweight or a minimalist handguard. I've got like a carbon fiber handguard, just a very simple tube one on my lightweight build, and then another lightweight one on my 20-inch build that I'm currently working on right now. Once I got, like, I think I have the AIM trigger package. It's like a 3.5 pull, and I think those are freaking awesome because they're getting really cheap now. You can regularly find them for under $100. I think that's well worth it for the quality of trigger that you get. I don't know. I'm sure you could probably have fun with different types of stocks. I've got my I've got the what would Stoner do? G-Wax lower on one, and I'm building up a standard A2 on my other one, and then I have a blade on my pistol, but obviously I want to change that out for an SBA 3.
Do you still do the 2-finger charge on your charging handle?
No, I just off to the side, left hand side.
Then what does an ambi do for you?
In case I want to use the other side. And I just like the feeling of it.
I pretty much roll.
I like the feeling of it being there, but I never touch it because it's pointless.
It's kind of like the forward assist.
Because that actually has a purpose when it's needed.
Well, and I've talked to some people that actually truly respect that don't think the forward assist should be necessary anymore. And they're like,
so,
I was like,
I don't have
great.
a forward assist on any of my 3 ARs.
Oh. See, that was funny because that was a route I was going to take. I mean, I felt like we covered everything that, for me, it's the charging handle is the most important thing in that I would change out. But some of the things I've excluded from my rifles, even though they have the parts or the space for it, is the forward assist, a dust cover. That's I don't really need it. I don't really use it.
Because you don't do anything with them.
Exactly. It's not like I'm out there with it, using it in the dirt.
I've never used my dust cover, and I get out there and train pretty often.
Right, but you have a dust. Do you have a dust cover on your guns?
I do, but not because I think I need it.
Right, I don't, because I don't need it.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I don't.
Yeah, when you live in a hole in the ground for a month, you need it.
Yeah,
right.
We don't. If I live in a hole in the ground for a month, I'm going to need a lot more guns.
You can have one gun, just a lot of ammo. And I have a lot of friends with a lot of ammo.
So I mean, those are things I feel like I don't need on my gun.
I can respect that. I mean, like dust cover, I get it. Forward assist, like I
see you use yours all the time, which I respect.
Because you edit the video,
you use it, and that's fine. I just whenever I have an issue, I just drop the mag and just try to charge it back and eject the bullet versus trying to push it through.
As Stoner originally intended.
Daniel Shaw agrees with you guys from Gunfighter Cast and Shaw Strategies. Like I truly respect his opinions, and he agrees with you guys. He thinks that forward assist is a dumb thing, and that if your rifle doesn't work without it, if you have problems with whatever, you should fix the problem and quit trying to jam it in.
And plus, down the profile of the rifle. I mean, honestly, you've got that forward assist sticking out the side. It keeps it slimmer without having it on there.
It's not about. I mean, guns aren't aerodynamic for
It's not so much aerodynamic. I just like having a low profile.
Yeah, the slick side. I mean, I get it. Like Jeremy, do you use your forward assist? Do you think they're necessary?
If it's needed.
Yeah, that's kind of me too. I'm like,
it's like having a gun. I'd rather have it and not need it
than need it and not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it is easy to misuse a forward assist and make things way shittier for yourself. But there have been a few times where I have had a forward assist, used it, and been really grateful that I had it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying that I just never felt like I needed it. I've never had to use it. So I mean, that's just me though. Other people, I'm sure, will swear by them. So it's just a personal preference. Again, for the charging handle is like one of the things that obviously needs to be changed out, just because they're so fucking small.
Well, that's because everybody now just one hands the son of a
right.
But the way it was taught, and everybody's got optics, and everybody, so the whole 2-finger thing, it works. And if you have an A1 or an A2, it works that way. The little 2-finger guy, and it's fine. But with all the high tech new that we have, everybody just throws an extended one on there, one hands that and calls it a day.
Yeah. Is there any stuff that you put on every gun, or you try to put on every gun, Aaron?
Yeah, one thing. A transformer rail.
Yeah. I have those on a lot.
Pretty much 90% of my guns have a transformer rail on it, to be honest with you.
Mine too, actually. I've bought more transformer rails for guns, like actually paid my own money, than probably any other gun part ever. I just like them. They're like, they're light.
They look nice. They have a function. It serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Not only does it keep my hand cool, but I can attach things to it, either the pick, M-lock or key mod, It's great.
I honestly don't even use all that shit. I throw key mod on them now, or I'm sorry, M-lock on them all. and I actually don't like the little covers that just cover it up. I just literally throw the M-lock on it and it's fine.
Well, it's funny because those covers, I have a bunch that say MG Moses, and we like shooting his life, and I put those on there.
Okay, I do use those. Those are cool. But just the little ones that come with it, I don't even use them. I just throw M-lock on it. I'm like, if I need it, better to need it, not have it, than have it, not need it.
Wait, then why do you buy the transformer? Why don't you just buy the M-lock rail that Manicore makes?
I have one of those, actually. I like it a lot. But I like the option, right? I like having the option to do a thing.
Yeah, like a forward assist. I like having the option.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm with you, man. I have 0 slick side. Or no, I do have one, actually. And I think it's the Angstat. And I needed it, and I didn't have it, and I was so f***ing mad. I was like, well, what I has it confused. So yeah, I dropped the mag, charged it, and then it failed. And then it failed to go into battery again because the ammo I had was just the tiniest bit too long. But I guarantee I could have jammed it in with forward assist.
Yeah, but then you'd be jamming in with every shot.
Maybe
not necessarily.
It could have just been one round that was out of spec, but I mean, you could have some pressure issues with that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, if it was too long, I don't think there'd be a pressure issue or lack thereof pressure.
Ethan said there was a guy at a competition that needed a forward assist and didn't have one. Been there.
Well, everyone's going to have a story.
Did I see it?
There was a bunch of people at a competition that didn't need it. So, I got right back at you.
All right, cool.
Kalashnikov too. Yeah,
Kalashnikov if he didn't figure out that rifle.
Kalashnikov would put a fixed bolt handle on the bolt carrier, or charging handle on the bolt carrier, so that you don't need a forward assist because you can reach up and smack the charging handle.
Well, that's something else. You could get a side charging AR, and then
The problem with a lot of those is that a lot of them aren't
attached to the bolt.
Yeah.
Because they're non-reciprocating. That's the thing.
The ones that are attached to the bolt. I'm not talking about the...
There are some reciprocating ones or whatever that are fixed to the bolt carrier. But
I'm just talking about the side chargers that are actually on the bolt.
Well, you didn't specify, Savage.
No, because I have a side charger that doesn't attach to the bolt carrier. And I've actually had a couple of them that didn't attach to the bolt carrier. Thank goodness, because it's reciprocating when your hand's right there sucks.
How about you guys just get an AR that functions the way it's supposed to? Goes wrong.
My man.
In a perfect world, sure. We don't live in one of those.
Yeah. If I just stood there and shot paper targets, that'd be cool. But when you're down in the dirt, in the mud, laying down and shooting your sometimes gets in there.
Why would you shoot feces?
Why wouldn't you shoot feces like 72 times a day?
You were shooting feces earlier during the show.
They were timing you in the chat.
I wasn't.
They were like,
the
Nick
feces.
can't even last the whole show without taking a he should see a doctor.
Yeah, you're right. I should. It's almost like I have a disease or something.
Yeah. I didn't. Dude, go back through the chat.
Yeah, I was like, Aaron didn't say
I saw the comment.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus. Savage, what's your product?
Oh, are we finally getting to me? All right. So I spotted this today from the Firearms blog, and it looked like a kind of cool piece of ammunition that's coming out of Blackwater. It's their new 10x100 BWA cartridge. And what it is a 50 BMG cartridge neck down to a 408. If you think about the 408 Chi-Tech, this is kind of similar, except it's just a 50 BMG neck down to 408. So according to them, and I'm not sure if this is Blackwater as in also the Blackwater.
Yes.
Also is the same guys? Okay.
Yes.
So they say it has 20% more case capacity than the 50 BMG, obviously, because they don't have to have as big of a bullet in there. But it does have a 400.
It's also wider too, by the way. It's got more girth to it.
50 is.
No, the 10x100 has more girth to it. I'm looking at the comparison picture of it.
It's a 50 neck down, so
it doesn't.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is it's a neck down 50 cal.
Yeah,
it looks wider.
Maybe
look at the neck. It's like almost like fire formed neck right there.
I know it's because the shoulder is sharper. It looks like it's wider.
So yeah, it looks like they went from a 30 degree to a 40 degree shoulder.
Exactly.
Or something like
Yeah. It's a smaller projectile, and it's the exact same case, and it's just neck down.
Yeah, so it's a 420 grain bullet, and they're kicking it out there at 3,500 feet per second, which is pretty awesome, and that can push it out and stay supersonic to 1.68 miles. So, in terms of they say in terms of bullet drop, more than it beats 50 BMG at 100% at any distance, which is pretty good for ballistics. I mean, 50 isn't like the best performing long range rifle round, but it's not a slouch. And so the fact that they're making this is pretty cool. And also because it fits in a 50 BMG case, just neck down, all you'd really have to do to convert a gun is change out the barrel, according to these guys. I'm sure it's probably a little bit more complicated with gas and pressures and whatnot, but it could be a fairly simple changeover. The projectiles that they're shooting out of these things are where is that thing? It's a caro bronze alloy, and it's machined bullet, so it's a solid monolithic bullet. So that should be a pretty awesome penetrator if it was going to hit anything.
Kind of like me.
No.
Oh.
Hey.
You know what? I don't like this bullet.
This sounds expensive.
So
because it looks like it's metric, 10 by 100.
Yeah,
come on.
Well, I mean, a 10 millimeter is also metric.
It's almost like they all basically copied the 416 Barrett.
It's similar.
yeah, it's.
Real similar.
I mean, they're working with industry partners to offer chamber reamers, reloading dies, and a loading guide and all that stuff, which I think is good. I don't know. I mean, ballistically, it seems pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first, I was like, get the out of here. No one cares. And then the more I read it, I was like, sounds all right. But yeah, it sounds expensive. Whoever said that.
Yeah, I mean, once you get into machined bullets, then you're really talking some money.
I mean,
What that machine bullet needs is a tungsten core
50 BMG is pretty expensive to shoot.
$5 around.
or uranium core.
This is
Depleted uranium.
Depleted, yeah.
Yes.
This is like they took 50 BMG and then made it almost well, I guess it would be a Wildcat.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like there aren't any guns for this yet.
No,
it sounds very expensive. It sounds
it'd be
awesome.
it'd be like taking a 5.56 and necking it down to a 17 or something like that.
So the guy who wrote the article, I wonder if he actually got to shoot the gun.
I was looking at his name, Rachia H.
I think it's Hirachia.
I like Sriracha.
Yeah, I was thinking that Sriracha.
Hirachia.
This is from the Firearm blog. You know James? We had him on the show, James Reeves, shorts guy. We saw him at SHOT, and he's like, hey, what's up, guys? He was like, I was just listening to you guys for 10 hours while I drove here.
Oh, my God. Why?
And then he got out his phone and like showed me that he had listened to like 10 hours of our podcast, and I was like, Jesus, dude. Why? Stop. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Right.
No, it was cool, man. He's a good dude. I like that guy.
Yeah. Hrachia.
Oh, is it Polish?
It's Russian.
Oh, okay.
His knowledge of Russian, yeah.
You guys want to know how you spot a Polish submarine?
How?
It's the one with the screen door.
Oh, no.
You know how you make a Polish guy crazy? Put him in a round room, tell him to in a corner.
That seems like a kind of a weird thing to do.
That does sound like a mean thing to do.
You know you make a Polish person mad?
How?
God.
Overthrow his government and force communism on him.
Jesus.
Actually, my boss is Polish, and that's the truth, because he lived through that.
It's crazy because at first I was like, shut the up, Jeremy. And then I was like, oh, no, that's good. I like it.
One of my favorite people ever is Polish.
Who was that? Savage's boss?
No, I forget. I'm trying to think of how to say his name. Ganganowicz.
Oh.
One of my least favorite people ever is Polish.
Rafael Ganganowicz.
What, Jeremy? No.
A person that I hate more than anyone else on the face of this earth is Polish. Jeremy, are you Polish?
I am a quarter Polish.
See, told you.
See, yeah. That's why we hate you.
Chris Gill said I'm
To be fair, I'm kind of Polish, too, so.
All right.
Wow, I hate Savage, too. No, I'm just
Whoa.
For completely different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally unrelated.
What you gonna do now?
We're talking about lifestyles.
You know,
What you gonna do now?
Brought to you by Brownells.
you know what the Poles did right though?
What?
Those Polish hot dogs that you can get at Costco.
Oh, they're so fucking good.
Those are good.
What about goulash, dude?
Costco is the best, man.
You know, kids these days don't even know what goulash is.
What's your favorite Costco food that you can get at the food court?
The hot dogs. Yeah.
The pizza for like a nickel.
No, the fucking.
I don't know. That turkey sandwich is pretty baller.
Oh, you get a pizza slice for $1.50 and a soda, all for $1.50.
Have you ever seen the moon cheese?
No.
No.
It's like
Isn't it
for
just a
sale.
rock?
It's for sale. It's not in the food court. It's just a product that is for sale. It's like a cheese snack, but it's like crunchy. It's really good.
Huh.
Moon cheese. I recommend it.
But hot dog is the right answer. The Polish dog, you load it up with the sauerkraut and the chopped onions. Yeah.
And mustard.
Do you know?
As long as you don't load it up with the communism.
Do you know that to keep their rotisserie chickens $5, they literally had to revolutionize the industry of rotisserie chickens? They had to like start raising their own chickens and like revolutionize how they were raised, all just to not raise it $1.
I want one of those chopped onion dispensers. That they have. Those things are badass.
Cool, yeah.
Chopped onion dispenser.
So goulash.
Oh, yeah. You just rotate
The little
The
crank.
grinder thingy, yeah.
So goulash, man. Like, so I don't think I even eat real goulash. Like, it's like pasta, tomatoes, tomato sauce, Italian sausage, cheese.
And paprika.
What about galoshes?
I don't like paprika very much. It's okay. I just don't put it in my goulash.
It's better than gulag.
Most things are better than goulash.
Is it?
Anyway, let's talk about Brownells real quick.
Okay.
Brought to you by Brownells. Aaron, what do you want to talk about?
Bucket list items tonight, guys.
No, Brownells.
Bucket list items from Brownells.
Idiot.
You know what my bucket list item is?
What?
That $200 HK crate that Brownells is selling.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But did you know that Brownells actually sells MP5 trigger packs?
Yeah, I saw that
Full
today.
auto?
They posted those on Facebook.
It's $800, and I want it so bad.
Me too, and the MP5 to put it on.
Yeah.
But those $200 crates are hilarious. I was
What are
actually it's literally like a plastic crate that they use at the HK factory to haul parts around with.
Oh,
And they're selling them for $199. And I'm very
Because you, we hate you.
yeah.
I'm very
I guarantee
tempted.
a bunch of people have bought them.
Well, I have no desire to own one, but I'm really tempted to put one on the Brownells order.
And just get one?
just to piss people off.
So apparently they sell all kinds of full auto stuff. I was kind of looking through today just to see. They sell auto sears. I didn't know that.
Let's get the crate and then fill it with high points. Oh my god!
Blow up the internet. But also something that I just ordered, 458 SOCOM mags.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're 10 round 458 SOCOM mags.
Nice.
Completely legal in Colorado, Savage.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Don't worry, we're not far off. We're not far off over here.
Actually, one of the cool things about having an FFL is that all the companies will send me all the mags because I have the ability to sell them out of state as an FFL.
That is pretty neat.
But yeah, just all kinds of stuff there. I've been looking at a lot of stuff like upgrading a 1022 because I'm going to do a conversion on that one. But yeah, so the mags that I ordered were the D&H Industries 458 SOCOM mags. No, that's not the one. I take that back.
Take it back.
Nope, that's not the one either. They have so many different options. Oh yeah, here we go. They are the CMMG 458 SOCOM mags. And I'm pretty stoked about them. They look good.
Oh, are those? It looks like a Lancer.
It looks similar to a Lancer, but they're by CMMG.
Wait, do they have a metal rim around the plastic base?
They have a metal.
They have
Feed
metal
lips.
feed lips. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks
Just
exactly like a
just like your
Lancer.
ex-girlfriend.
You know what's funny is that the Lancer
I was talking to
magazines,
Nick, by the way.
Lancer magazines actually feed 458 SOCOM. So if they are just like a licensed 458 or a Lancer mag, they'll just laser engrave 458 SOCOM on them.
Either way, I ordered a bunch of them today,
That's pretty cool.
and I paid for them using the Edge program. 2-day shipping.
So they should be here in a couple days.
Yep,
then.
be here in a couple
Super
days.
fast. No shipping cost.
Nope, which is free at like $50 a year. It's like Amazon Prime. So I don't know, man. I order a lot of stuff. I lost a safety detent to a 1022, and I was like, where the f- am I going to get this? It was like $3 on Brownells, and I just love that. I love that you can buy guns, everything. My carry gun that I carry every single day came from Brownells, the Sig P365. And we love them. So go to welikeshooting.com/sponsors and click on Brownells before you shop, and we get credit for those, and we definitely appreciate it. Aaron, what do you want to talk about?
Bucket list items. So, in the show notes, I put a link to a company called Gunship Helicopters. They're out of Vegas, where you can rent airtime in one of their helicopters, and they have like a saw put on there, so you can shoot it and go crazy with it and shoot cars and other objects on the ground. It's a reactive AR-500 steel plates. I don't know what that means. Maybe they just fall down. But yeah, I mean, that sounds like something I want to do. You know, that's something I would definitely put on my bucket list for in the shooting realm. What about you guys? I was curious what your bucket list items would be in regards to the gun world.
A hog hunt?
Well,
like, whether it's from a helicopter or just like going out in the morning and shooting the little peckerheads.
Oh, you're talking about pigs.
Yeah, not going hogging. I'm done with those.
Okay, just double checking.
Done with those days. But yeah, like a hog hunt, that's definitely on my list. God, man, that one's tough. Come back to me, Nick.
Yeah, that one's tough. Come back to me.
Savage.
I want a Daimler armored car with a 2-pounder QF main cannon.
All right.
What would you do with it?
Any thing I wanted to.
Savage killdozer over here.
What about you, Jerambe?
It'd have to be really sweet because I've done a lot of.
I mean, shooting that cannon was pretty cool a couple years ago at Sven's thing.
True. Cool. I mean, I never like pulled the string on a howitzer, but I've seen them. You know, I've been pretty close to it. I've fired bell-fed grenade launchers. I fired M2 50 cals. I've never fired a minigun from the door of a helicopter. That is true. I would kind of want to learn how to fly an A-10 Warthog.
Ooh.
So I can shoot a Cal 8, but so like something like that, or learn how to fly a helicopter with I forget what helicopter helicopter.
The Apache?
It might have been the Apache.
What about the Comanche?
The helmet actually has
the gun that follows where you
you can just be like
like everybody over there.
Yeah. Fuck everybody. Yeah, 20 Mike minigun.
So
and just everybody in that general direction.
I have fired a howitzer.
Ooh.
It's
awesome. How many millimeter?
I don't
what
remember.
shell?
I'll tell you.
Shell?
Hold on.
I would also go for a German 88. Those things are.
I've shot a German 88.
I drove a Panzer on a course.
I shot 88 Germans
with his in their mouth, and they were dudes.
I mean, it was dark.
Oh, that's racist, dude.
Jeremy, I did the 105 millimeter howitzer.
Woo!
What's the 152 is the bigger one?
105s, 120s.
So the 152 is $2,000 a round, and the howitzer that I shot was $650 a round.
God.
Yeah. Dude, shooting a howitzer is pretty cool. And then, because you pull it, and then you're like looking, and then just like somewhere over there, like a mile away, you just see a big. It was awesome.
Artillery brings a civility to what would otherwise just be a brawl.
Yeah, I put that up on the screen already.
Civility.
It's awful. But yeah, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, literally 10 years ago, a decade ago, I'd have been like, I don't know, shooting in 1911. And now I'm like, drove tanks, shot a howitzer. I've done a shooting course out of a helicopter.
I would love to. And we almost had the opportunity at the TriciaCon event, but everything started, they shut it down, was the minigun off the back of that Hummer.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that would have been so awesome.
That was at the agency party.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And that thing was crazy. Just the tracers, everything just winding out of that thing. Well, they had that new site on there. Was it EOTech?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It was like an EOTech site for a minigun.
Freaking crazy, man.
Circle.
It was like so big.
Hose.
It's just basically no reticle in it at all. It's just a window. Everything you can see through there, you get
Just a clear piece of glass. For some reason, it still needed a battery. I don't know why.
Just Call Me King said, have y'all shot an M60? Yes, multiple times, actually.
Yes.
No.
I have not shot an M60.
No?
I would love to.
They're pretty crazy.
I have held an M60. I've never shot one. I have shot a 240 Golf, though. A lot.
Have I shot a 240 Golf? Let me look it up real quick.
Basically replaced the M60 for medium machine guns.
What caliber
Basically,
are those?
the modern
They're 308.
MG42.
Oh.
No, they're 308. It replaced the 60s.
Oh, this is the... Okay, yeah. I don't know that I have shot one of those, actually. Wasn't there a company making, like, the civilian legal semi-auto version of these?
F&N.
No, that was the
248.
Well,
249.
the FN makes the 240s.
But they were doing the SAW, the 249.
249, that's right, yeah.
Can you imagine if they got a binary trigger for that? That'd be great.
Dude, did you freaking see that Franklin just announced the binary triggers for AKs?
No.
Yeah. Got one on the way.
Wait, is that a new thing? I thought that had been around.
Well, I just saw it the other day for the first time, and I was like, yes, please.
Yeah. Are you going to have to send it off to get someone to do the trigger job for you?
No, I don't
I've never
think
done a
so.
trigger job on an AK before.
I have put a trigger in an AK.
Is it easy or is it hard?
It was pretty easy, but it was kind of a pain because the trigger I had didn't fit very well, so it had to have manual fitting. And then I actually had to have Gator fix it. And then Gator didn't fix it very well, so I had to have Frank fix it. And then it worked great.
Awesome.
But yeah, like bucket list items, I don't know, man. That's tough. Like, I don't know what I've never shot.
I mean, I got one of them on the way.
Bucket list? Oh, your Mateba Unica.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
How much longer you got till that thing gets here?
They just said first quarter, so they got till end of March.
Before Jeremy starts smashing.
Oh, before I find out where their actual store is and show up.
You know, the Tommy gun was pretty cool, and the Sten was pretty cool. Those are two fun guns to shoot.
The Sten
Yeah,
I
they
love.
are.
I actually don't like Tommy gun very much.
Oh, I love the Tommy gun.
Yeah, I didn't like how you held the Sten, though, Shawn. It made me angry.
Dude, I held it like that because I saw May do it, and I was like, I'm going to try that.
It
Wait,
still
how did
made
you
me
hold
angry.
it?
You're like this? You're holding it like...
Yeah, she held
You're
it.
like cupping it like you're cupping...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magwell back. And, dude, I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Tell me.
That if Othias and May do something with an old gun, I'm going to do exactly what they do, and I don't give a what you say.
Yeah, well, Othias didn't shoot it like that. May shot it like that. It's like riding a bike, and
Well,
I rode it with the bar across, and you rode it with the bar that goes straight down.
and here's the thing is don't forget that in all the videos, May shoots all the guns, so I consider her a greater authority on the firing of the guns than Othias.
Wait, did Othias hang on to the mag or the magwell?
Yeah,
He
like we
did.
did.
Overhand.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But
like how you're supposed to.
I did it like May did.
My understanding is that you are not supposed to do that, even though most people do.
Yeah.
Because you can cause malfunctions
Well,
if
so
the
what
magazine
what,
fits sloppily.
what you do is you hold onto the mag well, not the mag, because the
Right,
mag well
yeah.
protrudes like 3
Right.
inches out. Yeah.
yeah, that's what you
I'm
get a
aware
grip
of-
on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Bucket list items is tough. Like,
You guys all had experiences. This is my bucket list item.
ooh, what is it?
The Holland & Holland Royal Deluxe in
Oh,
375 H&H.
How much does that cost?
Is that like a Dutch oven?
I think if you do the like made to order one, I think they start around 100.
Yeah, here's
Well,
a silly
good
one.
news. For that same amount of money, you could probably buy the Daimler.
You know what I really want is a FAL.
Oh, you know what? I do have a bucket list experience. I want to shoot a 40 millimeter machine gun.
I've done that.
Oh, man. I
Mark
found
19?
one for
Yeah,
$33,000. Holy
A Mark
What?
19.
a Daimler.
Oh, is
A
that it?
Daimler?
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean,
Still
it's
pay off my
beautiful.
car, which was less expensive.
It's beautiful, but so is like paintings, and I wouldn't pay that much for a painting either.
Yeah, this is a painting that you can shoot an elephant in the face with.
You're going to shoot that. You're going to fire it.
Yeah, I'd shoot that. That's what it's made for.
How much does it cost to shoot each round?
It's 375 H&H. It's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, 375 H&H is like $2-3 a shot.
Yeah, it's expensive, but not
Wow.
like that expensive. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's 458 SOCOM.
yeah,
Yeah,
but cooler and more beautiful.
it is beautiful. I will give you that.
And it's like the bare minimum to shoot an elephant with. So
My one of my least favorite experiences shooting was that Atlas Defense 50 cal suppressed, because Jomo was like, stand up and shoot it. I'm like, okay, and then was front heavy. I nearly went over the berm, and I had my mouth open when I pulled the trigger, which caused my mouth just to slap shut. So there's like so many things wrong with me pulling the trigger on that one.
I kind of hated that too, because everybody else stood up to shoot it, so I was like, well, now I have to. But yeah, it was like all the weight was in the front of the thing.
Yeah,
it was suppressed.
It was hard to support. So I literally just pulled it up and then let it fall and waited for the crosshairs to cross over. Like, I didn't even shoot for the target. I just shot for the berm. I just waited till the crosshairs hit the berm and pulled the trigger.
That's awesome. All right. Good stuff.
I have a slow motion video of that, and you can see it. Like, you can see the muzzle coming down.
That's amazing.
I'm just glad no one got the video of my mouth going.
Your teeth just clacking together.
Right. I was pretty sure they all shattered at that point.
That's freaking awful. Yeah.
Bunch of weak.
Oh, the other thing about that was that he was like, oh yeah, it's super quiet. You don't need your ear pro. So I took my ear pro off, and then he's like, all right, whenever you're ready. And as I'm about to like go to swing the thing up, he puts his fucking ear pro back on, and I was like, My
favorite part was like, yeah, you don't need ear pro on, but like we're surrounded by people with non-suppressed guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Dude, I'm sorry. The 50 cals, like even suppressed, they're uncomfortable. And maybe it's just a pressure thing, but oh boy, it's craziness. Let's see. All right, so the thing that I want to talk about tonight, I'm going to say some calibers. So we've got 17 Winchester short mag, 22 Hornet, 22 250, 223, 224 Valkyrie, 556, 22 Nosler, 243 Winchester, 257 Roberts, 26 Nosler, 270 Winchester, 28 Nosler, 30 Nosler, 300 Blackout, 300 Norma, 300 Win Mag, 308, 30-06.
What's second call defense?
6mm Remington, 6.5 Grendel, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.8 Remington SPC, 7x30 Waters, 7mm Remington Magnum, 7.62 by 39, 7.62 NATO, and many more. Aaron?
What's second call defense?
No. What is the Bowers Group Verse 30? That's all the calibers supported in that can. So I
like
just,
my answer better.
I just got mine back and took it out and was shooting it like it's supposed to be used. It's definitely not like a go mag dump everything can, but I was shooting it like it's supposed to be used, and I love that thing, man. It was my second 30 cal can that I ever had. The first one was a Saker 762 from Silencer Co, and I fucking hate that thing with a fiery passion. But I actually bought it and paid the tax stamp on it. So,
with the hate of 1,000 sons.
Yeah, pretty much.
And one daughter.
But yeah, I really do love the Verse 30. And again, it's not like a mag dump can. It's not a machine gun can, but it fits so much stuff. And we've shot it so many times, and it's awesome. Really great sound suppression. It's comfortable. It's super light. I've got the Verse 30 T, the titanium version, super light, and just a big fan of it. So you can find more at bowersgroup.com. Use coupon code WLS, and that's going to save you money. And absolutely go check it out. We love them, love their cans. And if you're thinking about a suppressor, just call Tom and be like, "Hey, this is what I'm going to use it for. This is the guns that I'm going to have it on." And
just do it.
Yeah, absolutely do it.
What are you waiting for?
He'll give you great advice.
All right, I got a story after this ad read.
Okay, and that'll do it for the ad read. Now it's time for Jeremy's story.
All right, so over here in the chat it says. This guy's like, oh, I've built 2,000-pound bombs but never got to shoot one. And then Nick said, desk pop. and this guy goes, would have been the best desk pop of all time. So Tony, my manager, who I've talked about before, he was a gunner's mate in the Navy. And they were loading bombs with forklifts and equipment and like that. And somebody did something stupid. And here goes this, 2,000, 5,000 pound bomb, however big it was. And he goes, and most of us just kind of stood there. And he goes, a couple people like dove away from it. And if you've ever been on a naval ship, it's like that non-skid. There's a lot of that over. So people are diving away from this bomb that's falling. It's not armed, so, there's no real danger. But even if it did pop off, what's diving going to do?
Nothing. You're dead.
it's going to blow the whole fucking ship up. The whole
Yeah.
ship, the whole
2,000
ship
pounds.
diesel
Q
fuel,
bomb.
yeah, diesel fuel ordnance and more bombs. So even if this thing cracks off, it's just going to vaporize this naval ship in the middle of the ocean, and people are diving away from it.
If they made it into the water, they probably would have been okay. But
No, probably not. You probably would have gotten vaporized before you actually made it to the ocean.
yeah.
Crazy.
John McClane could have done it. Die Hard 8.
Shooting a gun in each hand with no shoes.
And glass in his feet.
Ho, ho, ho. It is time for Going Ballistic with Savage 1R.
Oh, there's no intro. That was it.
That was your intro.
Oh,
Wait, what do you want? A red fucking carpet?
Yeah,
Want your
Jesus.
little kid to run up with you with
Oh,
flowers?
we used to have a bit where we played.
Okay.
Where is his intro music? He has to walk in with the microphone.
Yeah, here we go.
Yo, yo, yo.
With Savage 1R. You read your
Fucking prima donna diva over there.
Just fucking read Reddit.
Should be
Get over
Savage
with.
Diva 1R.
Okay.
Yeah, what's on Reddit today?
Yeah, well, to bring it down a notch, because, that's what I do. Unfortunately, there was a Thai soldier this weekend that went out on a rampage in Thailand, in a Thailand mall, and killed 26 people, injuring 57 before being shot. So he was having some kind of what's called a financial dispute. That's pretty much the only explanation given. And so he killed 2 people on the military base, and then drove to this mall that's, I guess, aircraft themed, and then just started shooting the shit out of everybody. He apparently had what they called an assault weapon, and did his thing. And it goes to show that it doesn't matter what kind of laws you have in your country, or even what kind of regulations you have in your military. If somebody is bound and determined to cause harm, they're going to do it. I mean, like, for example, in Thailand here, it says there is no right to gun ownership guaranteed by law. Citizens are not allowed to possess automatic and semi-automatic rifles, so that's off the table. If you want a handgun, rifle, or shotgun, citizens have to overcome several prior restraints, such as you have to have a genuine reason for a license. You need to pass a universal background check. You have to have a certain income range. So poor people are left out. There are red flag disqualifiers. There's all kinds of rules for acquisition, possession, and transfer of each privately held firearm.
Are we still talking about the Thai soldier?
Yeah. So, like, if all these restrictions are there, and yet this guy was still able to go and do this. And actually, a lot of the military over there is notorious for losing firearms to
girly men.
No, I was just saying, quote unquote, losing firearms, as in giving them or selling them to people of nefarious origins. So,
Wait. Like nefarious origins.
So basically, dude, and then went on a shooting spree over it. I mean,
or you
I can see where you'd be mad, but
or origins. Are you talking about like
criminals? Criminals.
Oh, okay. Not like a dog had sex with a cat and a demon was produced or anything, because that'd be a nefarious origin.
I mean, I guess you could go that route.
You were born as a man, but you dressed as a woman, and then get paid for sex.
Hey, Shawn, stay fresh, cheese bag.
You really.
What?
These are the only Cheez-Its that matter. Extra toasty, dude.
Why?
Are those actually pretty good?
Oh, they're the fucking best.
Dude, you got to get moon cheese. I'm telling you.
God, I don't want moon cheese.
You want moon cheese, trust me. I love the ingredients list. Just cheese.
I like what Brad said. Shawn doesn't have moobs. He has cheese.
So, dude, it took him
Cheese sticks sound
16 hours to
it was a
stop this.
long standoff, and this guy shot a lot of people.
I have a funny story about Brad in the chat there. In college,
Let's shift over to that.
It's still some pretty weak numbers, though. 16 hours and you get 26 kills and 57 wounded.
Well, everyone was gone
a lot
after
of
a
people
couple
got the
minutes.
out of
Yeah.
there, so we didn't have anybody to shoot at that point.
So in college, Brad grabbed our friend from the top bunk of the dorm. Oh, it wasn't even a dorm room. He was at his house. He grabbed Jim, And he grabbed Jim and yanked him out of the bunk. They were all pretty fucking drunk. Jim hits the ground, ripped his fucking ear off. Yeah, Jim, you got your fucking ear ripped off. You.
Wait, so Jerambe goes steady with a guy with one ear?
Oh, I see what you did. Can we get back to the story, though?
I mean, I think we pretty much killed it. So, yeah, unfortunately, the shooting happened. 26 people died in Thailand, and, obviously it's a terrible thing. But, hey, it's still going to happen. It doesn't matter what kind of gun laws you have. These kind of things are still going to happen.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, Washington State. Again, I'm going to do some Washington news, guys. Kind of good, also kind of bad. We're looking like we're going the route that Colorado has gone. Fortunately for us, the dead bills that are no longer a danger to us are the assault weapons ban, thank God, an ammo tax bill, and the removal of state preemption, which would have really f***ing sucked. That would basically allow any municipality to pass any kind of gun control that they wanted, and the state would not have authority to overrule those gun laws. So thank God those didn't get passed. Unfortunately, the one that is going through so far is the magazine limit / ban. It originally had a limit of 10 rounds, and they amended it to now be 15 rounds. Like it's, that's so much better. I'm so glad we now have, 5 more rounds that we got to worry about. I mean, it's I don't know if that's the exact same as Colorado, but very similar, and it's still stupid. Like there's, it says shall not be in French, and actually.
So
if you go
it shall not be in French.
Infringed.
Oui.
Parlez-vous français?
No. No. I mean, you go back to Miller 1939. They specifically said that weapons in common use are protected, and that includes ammunition that would be used in those weapons and obviously the magazine feeding devices. So this is just another round of that we have to deal with. Still waiting on the Supreme Court to finally rule on some cases, but when that's going to happen, we don't know. Sometime between now and June. But until then, we're going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. They're just throwing everything out there. Everything's in the wind right now.
It's like spaghetti. Just hit the wall.
Bloomberg is throwing a bomb of money at all the states and his own election this year. I think he's purportedly spending at least $200 million nationally.
Any chance this guy bankrupts himself?
No chance of that. This guy has 30 plus, maybe even $40 billion at this point, and he gets like $2 billion a year just off of his profits. So there's no way this guy's ever going to run out of money. The only thing we can hope for is that he dies soon, honestly. And he's getting up there, so it's a pretty good chance.
Yeah, but he's built like you. He's super small. So, it's like huge dogs die early. Small dogs live longer.
Sorry, Jeremy.
I know. I fully don't expect to have a long life. I know I'll die young, or at least younger than I would have because of my size.
Dude,
who do you think will die first, Nick or Jeremy?
You're about 10 years past dying young there, buddy.
Should we start a Deadpool? Are we like shooting Deadpool?
No.
We like shooting will die before any of us.
True.
Good chance of that. So moving on, another state that is in severe danger is Pennsylvania. So the Pennsylvania Governor Wolff.
Tom Wolff in sheep's clothing.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Everybody f***ing drink on that one.
Hated it.
I give it a 4 out of 10. I wasn't really a big fan of it, but
Would not smash.
So Governor Wolff is looking to push red flag laws. Obviously, that's basically legalized swatting and seizure of firearms without any kind of due process. They're going to be criminalizing private transfers of firearms, which again basically means universal background checks, which have been a massive failure in every single state they've been implemented in. They're going to be punishing any kind of victims or people who have had their firearms stolen. So it's basically you've been victimized already once by a burglar, and now you're going to be victimized again by the government because they're the government and they're here to help you by punishing you for somebody else's action. They're also going to be doing mandatory firearm storage laws that basically remove your ability to quickly access your firearm, which is a direct violation of Heller and McDonald, where the Supreme Court ruled that requiring storage laws would be fundamentally against the Constitution. So like Shawn was saying before, it's this full court press. They're pushing these laws on the state level in every single state. We've got to fight them. And it's frustrating because, just recently, Virginia had one of the largest pro-gun rallies, in recent history. And, a lot of people showed up there. They peacefully protested. They left the place cleaner than probably any protest that's been in the area before or since. And, so it was a perfectly great protest. It definitely got the message across, but that message wasn't heard. These politicians are not fucking listening to us. And I mean, I don't know how else we get them to hear us other than vote, vote, vote. Get out there and vote out these anti-gun.
Shoot them in the face.
No,
he's there for another 2 years.
God, no,
he's there for another 2 years. Minimum.
Relationship does not advocate shooting people in the face.
No.
Yeah, I know the governor is there for another 2 years, but I mean across the United States, we have a whole bunch of politicians.
He posed the question: How do we make them listen? That's how you make them listen.
No, if you're dead, you can't listen.
You only got to string up one or two, then they get the message.
No, that's so short-sighted. That's not how it works at all.
I mean, isn't it though?
No, it's not.
We're not there.
Okay,
yet.
then make it 100.
All right.
Jeremy's address is
No, so Josh Shapiro's their attorney general that's been pushing through a bunch of shit.
I'm just going to end everything I say in Minecraft. Kill a bunch of politicians in Minecraft.
Very good. So yeah, Pennsylvania's a show right now, which is crazy. And
isn't that where Patton's from?
Basically, you have a bunch of union guys in Pittsburgh and all over the state, and they vote Democrat because that's what the union tells them to vote because they're in the pocket of the Democrats, and then they do a bunch of like this because a bunch of union guys voted Democrat. I don't know why union guys vote. I mean, I know why union guys vote Democrat, but because communism.
So we should kill them all in Minecraft.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
Minecraft.
Have you seen all the? Have you seen that Whitest Kids You Know skit where he's like, "Did you know it's illegal to say?" And then he has some phrase about the president, and he's like, "But it's not illegal to say if you set up a mortar at this location, at this angle, pointing in this direction."
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus
All right.
Christ.
So next comes from Arizona. Arizona is completely safe from gun control, right?
You would like to think so.
Well, SB 1625 has been introduced. And it was introduced by, I believe, 12 separate politicians in the great state of Arizona. And line 1, a person, corporation, or other entity may not manufacture, import, possess, purchase, sell, or transfer any assault weapons or large-capacity magazines.
Well, good thing we don't have any assault weapons or large-capacity magazines. We have standard-capacity magazines.
Oh, no.
And semi-automatic
Sporting rifles.
They define it. They define it all.
Oh.
There's going to be registration.
They're wrong.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
So check this out. A person who is legally in possession of an assault weapon or large capacity magazine on the effective date of this section and who does any of the following within 90 days after the effective date is not subject to prosecution. Removes the assault weapon or large capacity magazine from the state. Renders the assault weapon permanently inoperable. Surrenders the assault weapon or large capacity magazine to the appropriate law enforcement agency for destruction. If eligible, registers the assault weapon as provided in subsection D of this section. To register an assault weapon that a person legally possessed before the effective date, the person must comply with the following requirements. Submit to a background check conducted by the appropriate law enforcement agency to confirm that the person is not a prohibited purchase under United States Code Section 922 or prohibited possessor pursuant to Section blah, blah, blah. Unless the person is currently prohibited, whatever, safely and secure, store the assault weapon pursuant, annually renew the registration subject to completing a new background check. Possess the assault weapon only on property that the person owns or immediately controls while on the premises of a licensed gunsmith for lawful repair, while engaged in the legal use of the assault weapon at a duly licensed firing range. While traveling to or from locations, it's got to be in a locked container during transport. If you go down here just a little bit more, it says that the registered owner of an assault weapon may not purchase additional assault weapons ever. So if you register your AR-15, you can never buy another one.
So I just go to a state where
it
doesn't happen. I buy one and then I take it home and I never register it. And when you come to take them, I shoot you in the face.
In Minecraft?
No, in real life.
Oh, well.
That needs to happen.
So this is insanity. They do have a
This is Sparta.
They do have a Republican-controlled House, I believe, so it's probably not going to go through. But it doesn't matter. They're like trying to push this through everywhere. They're hoping that the people aren't paying attention, and we have to pay attention. So if you live in the great states of Pennsylvania, Virginia, Arizona, like all these different places where they're trying all this dumb, like pay attention because they're coming for you and they're coming for your guns.
But also pay attention to states that are doing the opposite. Kind of some late breaking news here. I just saw this. Yes, I saw it on Reddit. There's an 8-state compact that is originating in Mississippi. Mississippi legislators trying to pass House Bill 753, and it reads, an act to authorize the state of Mississippi to enter into an interstate compact with southern states for the purpose of operating as Second Amendment sanctuary states. So 8 full states all the way through, to establish the Interstate Commission on Second Amendment Sanctuary and prescribe its powers and duties to exempt certain firearms, accessories, and ammunition in this state from federal regulation, to declare certain federal statutes, regulations, rules, and orders unconstitutional under the Constitution of the United States and unenforceable in this compact region, to require the attorneys general of compact states to file any legal action relevant to prevent implementation of a federal statute, regulation, rule, or order that violates the rights of a resident of a compact state and for related purposes. Wow, that's some baller right there.
And those 8 states are Tennessee, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, and West Virginia. Yee!
Ha. That's pretty cool. I doubt it's going to go anywhere, but I kind of hope it. No, I absolutely hope it does.
I mean, it's just
I totally hope it does.
Yeah, it's just like sanctuary counties.
Correct.
It is correct. It is absolutely correct.
I mean, it's legally speaking, the way our country's set up, legally correct. Not that they can say like, oh, federal statutes. They're saying those federal statutes are unconstitutional, therefore unenforceable, and that should be the law.
Yeah. I'm 100% agree with you, and I have a semi-chub right now after reading that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Not gonna
freaking
lie.
cool. That is like really, really freaking cool. I dig it a lot. All right. Is that all the news that we've got tonight?
That's all of it.
All right. Excellent stuff.
It's positively Pozderac. Positively Pozderac.
And this review section is brought to you by the Sonoran Desert Institute. Go check them out at sdi.edu. And online gunsmithing, so you can do it from the comfort of your own house. You get projects. They send you projects. You do the projects. We've got a lot of listeners who've done it and say they enjoy it, so go check them out, sdi.edu. Jeremy, you've got the ad reads.
Ugh. Like, ugh. By Urban Jaguar. 1 star.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a show hosted by smug, smarmy, sophomoric, alt-right MAGA boys, with one exception, then look no further. They're the Proud Boys of firearms podcasting. This had to have been written by a fan that was making like an ironic 1 star,
But
like
dude,
as a liberal, and he's agreeing because Savage is his fellow commie.
well,
brother.
I was wondering. I was like, who is that one person?
It's Savage because he's a commie, and it was obviously somebody who's pretending to be some like Antifa.
I swear to God, this is not me. This is
I
not
mean,
me.
Savage is a commie. Aaron's a welfare queen.
Not a commie.
I'm not a queen.
No, but I can make you my.
Aren't the Proud Boys like racist?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Oh wait, actually, I saw a
they
thing
are.
that talked about it.
Then why is there black Proud Boys?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they hate themselves.
No, actually, I watched the thing and it was like they're not racist at all. Like I don't know how true it is, but they were just like, no, we love being whatever.
They did get 3 things right.
Okay.
We are
Smug.
smarmy, and sophomoric.
Yeah, I can go with that.
I wouldn't say we're all right. Like I'm pretty center of the road
No,
politically.
you're not.
Dude, I really am.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I want transvestites like you to be able
Dude,
to get abortions and defend their weed with machine guns.
I would agree with Aaron
That's
on this. Actually,
libertarian.
I think you're probably right of center.
Libertarian, yeah.
I am right of center because I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't support welfare.
Yeah.
Immigration, I think, is a huge issue. 2A is pretty much my one issue vote these days. But dude, I'm more middle of the road than a lot of people.
Oh, I'm far. I am far. I'm not alt-right. I'm far right. I'm so goddamn right. I'm over by anarchy.
Look at he just threw up the Hitler sign right there. Right? He's like, I'm so right. I'm over here.
I actually disagree because I think when it comes to like abortion and shit like that,
What left right are you going by though?
What's that?
Far left is totalitarianism. Far right is anarchy.
I'm talking social issues.
Yeah.
I don't give a yeah. Far right anarchy.
Okay,
I don't give a
that's
what
fair.
you-
All right, maybe I'm far right. Maybe I am all right. Whatever.
It depends. If you talk about the European model or the American model, talking the European model, left and right are basically ends in totalitarian in both ways, with some semblance of freedom somewhere in the middle. In America, it's either totalitarianism or anarchy.
Well, then I'm with anarchy. All right, maybe we are the Proud Boys of firearms podcasting. I don't know.
I thought the Proud Boys were racist, though.
I don't think so.
I don't think that they are, dude.
I don't think they are either.
Google it right now. Go look it
No,
up.
I think actually that.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna believe some left wing that comes up when it's the people that are directly opposing them, directly opposing Antifa at rallies. Yeah, sure the media is gonna call them racist, homophobic, misogynist, patriarchal, whatever the transphobes. There you go. I covered it all.
It's
I think.
it's a neo-fascist organization. They only allow men. They
it's in the name.
promote. Oh yeah, yeah. They promote political violence.
Wikipedia says they often participate in racist events.
Started in 2016 by Vice Media co-founder. That's crazy.
Yeah, Gavin McInnes.
Yeah. I didn't realize he worked with Vice. I think the thing I saw was on Vice, actually. Western values, rebranding. This group sees men. This is from Wikipedia, so take it for what it's worth. This group sees men, especially white men in Western culture, as under siege. It does not support white supremacist views. Its members often participate in racist rallies, events, and organizations.
Right. I'm not a racist, but
If it's a diagram, those circles intersecting at some point.
I don't like German companies, but I drive a VW. I don't know.
that's not the Germans are.
The thing I saw, and
Our
I'm pretty
race,
sure it was
though.
on Vice. They were all kind of sitting around. They're like, "No, we're not racist." And there was like several black dudes there and a couple Hispanic dudes. I don't know. I really don't know. The only organized group that I belong to is the Gun Cult. TheGunCult.com.
Same.
Yeah. Anyway, next review. Proud Boys.
Not really a review. At least there's no stars. Kevin P / dot.
Okay. I just
Those forward or backslashes. I don't know.
Backslashes.
I was trying to hit delete and I hit like I fat fingered some Kevin P.
Oh, Kevin P. Have listened to every episode of WLS and also Double Tap. They are my kind of guys, obviously, winky face, except for Aaron.
Oh, God.
He needs to learn a bit more about guns and focus. Maybe switch off meds. Or did he mean meth?
Of beds.
I don't really care what Kevin thinks. I appreciate you putting a post in there, Kevin.
Thanks for leaving us a review. J
Right.
Boy says that Proud Boys are not racist. They're Gavin McInnes's boys. Proud Boys are not racist, says Dead Bunny Society. J Boy says, look in the chat, I gave the answer. Chris White says that's just what they say to make them look bad. Remember, Virginia was a KKK rally. That's a really good point. Gavin is no longer associated with them. I'm just
Wait, what about what was a KKK rally?
the Virginia rally. The mainstream media.
The mainstream media painted that one as a racist.
Where's your mic at, Savage? Do you know?
I know it's right here.
There it is. Yeah, try using it.
That's too fucking close. God, it's too fucking
Here, Savage.
God damn it, Aaron.
Sorry.
They counter Antifa. He created it. Things they deem racist, like gun ownership. That's fair. Antifa goes to rallies dressed as gun owners to play to the fake media's propaganda. Can't trust what you read because it's a right-leaning group. So according to the news, just call me King. So according to the news, it's racist, homophobic, and sexist Nazis. Nazis counter-communist doesn't really make them right. Not to say anything about the Proud Boys because I don't know. Oh, that was Nick. The Proud Boys started in a bar. They are not racist.
What does that have
wait
to do
a
with being
second.
racist?
In a
I mean, there are racist bars out there.
Yeah, I
they're
happen-
racist, but
I happen to be aware of a bar called the KK Corner, spelled with K's, or Corner spelled with a K. Pretty sure it's a racist bar. I mean, if you start a group in there, it doesn't mean it's not racist.
Wait, my kind of guys that never respond to people in the Facebooks because apparently that's lame. What the? Do you know how much time I spend responding to all of our social media?
2 minutes.
No, hours every day. Every day. Who answers every message in our Facebook page? 99% of them, me. Who answers all of our Instagram messages? Who replies to all the comments? Me.
Occasionally, I do.
Michael G.
I'm trying to ferret out the fish out of everybody.
Right, I know. Next review.
Everyone who makes a comment, I'm like, "Are you the fish?"
Next review.
Wait, did we finish that one? Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
Jeremy.
But
Next review.
Jeff R.
Jeff R., a longtime listener, first-time reviewer. I listen to the podcast every day on my way in and out of work. I've listened all the way back to 254 at this point, trying desperately to get to the famous 171 episode. Keep up the great work. Thank you for keeping me informed on the latest gun news and gear.
You're welcome. Don't listen to 171.
Jonathan R.
Okay.
5 stars.
Me, I guess.
I need help naming my ferret. Just another pet ferret. It's kind of stupid. Having ferrets is like having a stoner roommate. They sleep all day, wake up, eat, then go back to sleep. Sometimes they're fun to play with. I name all my ferrets based on their personalities, but this one is difficult. It's really stupid and falls over and wiggles. When I feed it, he spills food and splashes in his water. He doesn't want to learn how to poop in his litter box. He just chews on the metal bars and falls over. I think I'll just smash it with a rock. I'm going to make it Voda first.
Name it Aaron.
Well, no. I was thinking the eating style is totally Jeremy,
That's, you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point.
but the pooping style is kind of Nick,
It's Nick.
and the falling over is me.
No,
So we
it's
have to figure
The falling over is me.
Okay, so figure out a way to combine all the names.
WLS.
You name your, WLS. That's what you
Oh,
name.
instead of with a W, use two D's, and then UBA, W.
Let's see. Shickemyavagaron. No? I mean,
What?
Shickemyavagaron.
Come here, Shickemyavagaron. Come here, Shickemyavagaron.
It just rolls off the tongue.
You can just call it Shickemyavagaron for short.
This has got to be a show name right there. Jesus Christ.
Okay, hold on. Let me write that down because I'll forget. Shick. Emmy.
The fish is making fun of Aaron.
Yeah.
Shickemyavagaron. That has to be the name. You just hate that I'm right and you suck at it. I think Aaron's.
I have no idea who the fish is.
I don't
I know
either.
who he is, but I don't.
I don't
know.
either. I don't either. Anyway, that's going to wrap us up for the night. We've got a giveaway you can enter to win. WeLikeShooting.com/giveaway. And that's, you can enter to win every single day. Cult members get extra entries. TheGunCult.com is where you can sign up for that. So you can go find all that. Are these the winners? Aaron?
No.
Okay.
I was going to talk to you about that before the show, but it's my son's birthday, so I was really busy today.
Okay. Love WLS is the place that you can go, lovewls.com. There's 4 things you can do there. You can find our advertisers, their coupon codes, links to all their websites, and when you click those links, we generally get WLS Willis. Call him Willis,
I'll find you,
says
fish.
the fish.
I will find you.
Just call me
And I'm
king. How many rounds do y'all consider a stockpile?
1,000 minimum.
Oh, 1,000?
I mean,
Minimum, yeah.
what's a stockpile?
What's a stockpile? Okay, so normal, what you should have, like a bare minimum,
Is 1,000
2,000 rounds per caliber.
I would say that a stockpile is like, I don't know.
50,000. You want to start to talk about stockpile 50 to 100,000 rounds, then that's a stockpile.
Hey, Adam.
No, hold on. A large accumulated stock of goods or materials, especially one held in reserve at the time of a shortage or other emergency.
Stockpile. I thought you guys were talking about sock piles.
Okay, Aaron. No, so I mean a large accumulated stock of goods. I'd say 1,000 rounds per. I mean,
Yeah.
look, the mainstream
That's not
media.
a stockpile. That's just what you should have.
The
on hand.
mainstream media calls like 5 guns an arsenal.
So are we using the mainstream media as our baseline now? No, Shawn. The answer is no.
Because Aaron believes them.
Because they're the enemy.
Okay, listen. Just because they say it doesn't mean it's not true. Just saying.
Okay, I mean,
But just because they say it doesn't mean it's true either. So you just use your brain.
yeah. All right, cool. So we're all in agreement there.
Right, yeah.
So you can find our advertisers, coupon codes. You can find links to our website where you can buy shirts like this, hoodies like Aaron's got on, all that good stuff. You can become a rooftopper. You can join the Gun Cult, theguncult.com as well. Sorry.
Thank
Jesus.
you.
Those f***ing crackers made my nose run.
May I have another?
Yes. There you go.
You know what? You've got the coronavirus.
God right I do. I'm saving it for you. Anyway, that's where you can go join a gun-related advocacy group, Firearms Policy Coalition, Gunners of America, Second Amendment Foundations. They're the ones that are doing work right now. We always give out the suicide prevention line. The number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can text the number 741-741. We're here live every single week on Monday and Wednesdays, except for when we're not. But we're on demand every day. Subscribe to the podcast and everything at welikeshooting.com/show. And as we always say, thanks for listening. Get some medical training.
And say fresh cheese bags.
Shoot straight. You're trying to make that a thing, aren't you?
I am.
You need a shirt now?
We would have Gavin on.
Would we have the fish on? I think we should have the fish on.
Do you? You think that hating you is a...
No, I just want to know. I just want to know who he is.
What if it's that guy with the ski mask and the thing?
I'm okay with that.
So name of the show is Shickemyavagaron?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. I like it.
Sure.
Just a verification of my comment. So as far as holding a store and amount to train with, yeah, I mean, I think 1,000 rounds minimum. But I don't even know if I have 1,000 rounds of everything.
I have, I have 1,000 rounds of 223 and 308. That's it.
308.
I think I have about 2,000 rounds of even 45 Colt laying around.
You have a store full of ammo.
That's true.
True that. I'm doing a manual fade because it was just going on way too long. I don't know what happened. Nothing's working. Goodbye. We love you.
That's what she said. Nothing's working. Goodbye. I love you.
Did you think that show was worth $1? Help the cast by visiting lovewls.com.